And here it is, right here. Am I frozen? Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay. Yeah, so there it is. So here it is right here. Here I am right here. I seem to have frozen on the screen. I hope I don't have to reboot this thing. I wonder what's going on. Oh, okay, so here it is right here. Here I am right here. I hope you are right there. The usual protocol, as you are coming in, click on the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, do the right thing and subscribe. So the session has commenced and your company is required. That thing that we do round about this time be done exactly at this time. So if you're available right now, avail yourself of this space. My screen is acting somewhat in a funky manner. Hopefully this corrects itself. So goodness me. All right. So one man went to mow. I might well. Yeah, so there it is. Gremlins in the works. You have to understand I'm only doing this from a laptop, so you do get this sometimes. So one man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwanam no wow. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. Just sing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, moving faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 holy. Yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele mazuche mefo.
And there it is right there. Holy, holy Nnamdi Kanu, the other savior, voices from the east. So holy, holy, as guys, I bring you this. Igbo Board of Deputies dragged Pastortunde Bakari to court over hate speech, genocidal comments during sermon. So not many of you will be new to that space. What Tunde Bakari said, of course, when he visited the east to go and pray absolution for the curse put upon them, according to him, by I think the Saudana of Sokoto back in those days, Ahmedu Bello. So you of course recall the first coup that took that guy's life, and according to Tunde Bakari, in the course of just at the moment of death, that Saudana, he put a curse on the Igbo people, and that is what has been afflicting that space till date. So Tunde Bakari went to that space to pray absolution for that curse, but that did not go down. That did not go down well with the Easterners. In fact, so vexed that day, as guys, I bring you again, Igbo Board of Deputies drags Pastortunde Bakari to court over hate speech, genocidal comments during our sermon. So quite what's led to all of that, we find out shortly. So you find out senility really not in behavior, but in words. So when somebody is going senile, you really from their commentary, you start to sort of guess at where they are mentally. So riddle this, Pantami disconnected phone numbers from national electricity grid. No prices for guessing who is saying this, Tinubu, of course. These are scattergun. Remember when he said he was going to be feeding the soldiers Agbado and they will recruit 50 million soldiers, etc. So along those lines, questions about the guy's mental state. Pantami disconnected phone numbers from national electricity grid, a headline attributed to Tinubu. So quite why he's saying that, is that senility or is that insight into the goings on in Nigeria? When we read out the piece, we'll find out and then we'll be able to form a better informed thought. When we read out this piece, we'll be able to form a better informed thought as well. Ngige finally declares intention for presidency. So there's a declaration by Ngige today. So I'm not sure even if the headline is not sufficient without having to read that. So Ngige declared today formally. Kwakwanso also declared today formally. So the headline is sufficient enough for all of those stories, but we may or may not read it out. State of the Nation. Soyinka blast State of the Nation. Soyinka blast. Buhari says it is finished. So it is finished, but what exactly has finished is the question. But it looks as though the whole of the East, they are up in arms, again, leading Yoruba figures. This next headline, Igbo presidency, Ohanaeze replies, Oluwo Of Iwo says accusation untrue. So we discussed, of course, the commentaries of Oluwo Of Iwo just a day or two ago, where he condemned the totality of that massive race in the eastern part of the country, not fit for purpose, was his verdict. So the lead organizations within that space now clap back. Igbo presidency, Ohanaeze replies Oluwo Of Iwo says accusations untrue. So quite what the rebuttal is, we'll find out just shortly. And then we land on this, what I discussed with Buhari in Abuja on Imo attacks. Hope UZODINMA, of course, a second headline will tell you that he has captured two of the lead figures of the unknown gunmen. So quite if that is what the conversation is with Buhari, we'll find out just shortly as well. So lean back, kick back, take it easy, and relax into the session. I seem to be having some gremlins in the work. So if you are seeing me, okay, because it seems to be freezing in an intermittently my end. But if it's flowing okay on the screens where you are, then indicate to me in the comment section. And as you are indicating, the usual protocols, of course, the likes and the subscribe button, you know we are pushing that, so do it if you haven't done it already. So we ease ourselves into the session via the Eastern Quarters and another Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi go onye do I walk. O Mary wone zu Biroya Abakare. Mamanda ora, unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi.
And then you heard it, voices from the East. Nnamdi wins the war, they insist. So Nnamdi wins the war. As guys, I bring you this. Igbo Board of Deputies drag Pastortunde Bakari to court over hate speech, genocidal comments during a sermon. The Igbo Board of Deputies, comprising stakeholders of Southeast extraction, have vowed to take Pastortunde Bakari of the Citadel Global Community Church, Lagos State, to court over his alleged hate speech and genocidal comments against the Igbo people of Nigeria. The Igbo stakeholders, in a pre-litigation letter addressed to the cleric on Tuesday, said Bakare should recant his statements using the same pulpit within 7 days from the date hereof. The Igbo group, through their lawyer, Austin Okeke Attorneys, said it would approach the appropriate forum, both local and international, for all available legal relief. These actions shall be at your account. The letter was copied to 76 different national and international organizations, as well as personalities. It reads, we act for Board of Deputies, we act for Igbo Board of Deputies, a non-profit company, NPC, and its trustees, for the time being, our clients, under whose instruction we address this letter to you. We have waited reverently for length and Easter period to end before addressing this letter to you. It is our instruction not to join you in the desecration of a very sacred and holy Lenten season, it being the bedrock of the Christian faith all over the world. Your hate speech and your premeditated incitement designed for ethnic cleansing of the Igbo people in Nigeria were aired and viewed right at the heart of length. You are a pastor of a church indeed. We have waited without success for you to, on your own accord, recant your hate. Hold on. We have waited without success for you to, on your own accord, recant your hate speech and or withdraw the incitement of genocide against the Igbo people. It is very obvious that your speech on the day was well thought out, planned and executed so as to achieve the purpose it was designed. These comments were made deliberately at a very fragile and tense period in the history of Nigeria, when insecurity and killings are rife. We are advised that on or about April April 2022, you on the pulpit of Citadel Global Community Church in Lagos, Nigeria, your church, and before a multitude of congregants, worshippers, and viewers all over the world, made inciting comments against the Igbo people in the following manner. On the day the late Tafawa Balewa was killed, the Igbo soldiers arrested him, removed his turban, poured wine on his head, and forced him to drink, and then shot him. Whilst he was being killed, he cursed the Igbo race that they would never govern Nigeria. Here is the YouTube link for ease of reference, and it goes on to attach a YouTube link. We are of the view that your comments on the day were calculated to rouse and stoke hatred against the Igbo by a region of the country. These were the sort of falsehoods sold to other regions of Nigeria as part of the hate campaign that justified and resulted in the mass murder and subsequent pogrom against the Igbo before, during, and after the 1967 Nigeria-Biafra Civil War that reportedly claimed over 3 million lives of the Igbos. We are advised that your own account of the 1966 military coup, and in particular the death of the Prime Minister of Nigeria, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, is false because you were not present and therefore cannot qualify as a credible witness. In this circumstance, we have been instructed to demand from you, as we hereby do, to recant your statements using the same pulpit within 7 days from the date hereof, failing which we have instructions to approach the appropriate forum, both local and international, for all available legal relief. These actions shall be on your account. We hope the above does not become necessary, and we do not wish you to enter into this quagmire. Kindly note that our clients shall enforce their rights and their resolve within the ambit of both domestic and international laws, unless and until you have publicly withdrawn your false comments. The fact that we have not exhaustively dealt with this matter, the fact that we have not exhaustively dealt with this matter at present should not be construed as a waiver, omission, and or novation of our client's rights. All our client's rights are fully reserved. We hope you find the above in order as we await your prompt reply. The letter was copied to the United Nations Human Rights Commission, the International Criminal Court, and the International Court of Justice. Also, it was sent to the President of Nigeria, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Senate President, Nigeria, Embassy of the United States of America, and the European Union and African Union, amongst others. So there it is right there. If there was ever an Unzobu chanting, that is Unzobu chanting right there. Pantami disconnected phone numbers from National Electricity Grid. Tinubu speaking. Bola Tinubu has said Nigerians were disconnected from the national power grid in one of several controversial comments he made during a recent campaign stop. On Sunday, the former Lagos State governor was at Onikan Stadium with thousands of his supporters and lamented Nigeria's moribund power infrastructure. And yet we started disconnecting from NIPP our phone numbers, Mr. Tinubu said, in an apparent mix-up of electricity and phone infrastructure. The NIPP is the National Independent Power Project, a part-work policy of the central government to liberalize power generation into the national grid. Communications Minister Issa Pantami disconnected millions of Nigerians' phone lines over claims that they were not enrolled by the National Identity Database. The minister said he introduced the measure to curb insecurity, but it has drawn widespread controversy amongst citizens and experts. Mr. Tinubu has said previously during his campaign for president next year that he has a better idea for fixing Nigeria's acute power challenges, adding that the incessant national grid collapses could be traced to previous government's failure to accept his advice. Mr. Tinubu, however, failed to correct himself before the audience that electricity generation and mobile phone networks are different. Mr. Tinubu's mixture of both systems marks another instance of his embarrassing public statements, which experts said could signify mental health challenges. The 70-year-old politician said last year that the Nigerian military should recruit 50 million youths to fight unemployment, a statement his handlers later walked back. Earlier this year, he was caught on camera appearing to urinate on his body. He also said the permanent voter's card have an expiry date contrary to public knowledge and the position of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Mr. Tinubu's age has been subject of public controversy as some politicians who have known him for decades past insist he should be in his 80s and not 70s as he is officially claiming. He, however, maintains that he is in good health and can govern 200 million Nigerians successfully if elected, with his supporters often pointing to President Muhammad Buhari, who assumed office and spent months in hospital, as an indication of what is possible. So another Buhari essentially is what his supporters are telling us. This guy now is just senility. There's no equivocation about that. 2023, Ngige finally declares intention for presidency. Nigeria's Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, has formally made public his intention to contest for presidency in the 2023 general election. The minister had said on Sunday that he would officially announce his intention to contest in the 2023 presidential race on April the 19th. Ngige's media office reveals that the minister had been consulting stakeholders in the All Progressive Congress and the opposition party. The former governor of Anambra State revealed why he consulted members of the opposition parties when addressing his supporters at Amansie, a border town in Enugu State, after visiting Governor Ifeanyi. He noted that his presidential ambition had cross-party appeal. Correspondents understand that Ngige declared his presidential ambition today before a mammoth crowd at St. Mary's Catholic Church Alor, Idemili South local government area of Anambra State. The minister described himself as an aspirant well-equipped with years of administrative experience due to his 40 years of experience in public service. Ngige said he has a huge wealth of experience, capacity, and energy, as well as a large heart to accommodate the differences between Nigerians. Meanwhile, a plot to smear the reputation of the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been alleged by his campaign counsel. Correspondent report. The media council in a statement on Monday claimed that a US-based Nigerian, so that would be Farouk Perogi, is leading a group of smear campaigners to tarnish the image of the vice president. According to the council, the smear group is planning to cast the vice president, who is a Christian, as a religious fanatic whilst he was commissioner in Lagos State. The council pointed out that Osinbajo didn't discriminate against any staff of any faith, during his time as the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in the state. It disclosed that the leader of the campaigner was a former student union president at the University of Lagos and presently a lecturer at the University of Ohio, United States of America. So that is indeed Farouk Perogi. The council, however, vowed to resist any attempt to malign the reputation of the vice president. So that's a two-in-one story right there. State of the Nation, Soyinka blast Buhari, says it is finished. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has again lampooned President Muhammad Buhari over the state of the nation, saying it is finished. Pardon me, I'm trying to get rid of you know those ads that sometimes cloud your screen. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has again lampooned President Muhammad Buhari over the state of the nation, saying it is finished. Soyinka particularly faulted the president's pardon granted to some Nigerians convicted for corruption, said Buhari had placed all his eggs in one basket, which has now squashed against Nigerian faces that they shall not forget or wipe off in a hurry. His position comes days after the Catholic bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto, Matthew Kukah, heavily criticized Buhari over insecurity, corruption, and division in Nigeria. Kukah, in his Easter message on Sunday titled, "To Mend a Broken Nation," the Easter metaphor, said Buhari has destroyed Nigeria. According to the bishop, every aspect of life in Nigeria has been destroyed, whilst corruption is enthroned. Soyinka, in a statement titled "A Putrid Presidential Easter Egg," backed the position of Kukah. He also agreed with former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who said Buhari's presidency had offered its best to Nigeria. The statement reads, "Easter greetings to you, Reverend Matthew Kukah, and to all your followers. All has been said, I think. I am impelled, however, not to miss an opportunity to add my own Easter drop to the overflowing vessel of pietistic sentiments, if only to reassure Christians and also Muslims in turn that even we non-believers do partake of that same ethical communion to which most humanity aspire." Also, your Easter sermon opens up yet again those slices of judicial hypocrisy to which we dare not cease to draw attention. So it's going to be heavy on grammar. You know Wole Soyinka, how he likes to do it. Of course, it is easy to track the trajectory of events, nettled by increasingly salubrious comments, such as those of his predecessors in office, Olusegun Obasanjo, who declared that this incumbent has run out of ideas, that he has nothing left to offer the nation. Muhammad Buhari decided to embark on the Easter train and donate an Easter egg of truly presidential proportions to his subjects. Coming from a leader who had placed all his eggs in one basket, labeled anti-corruption, this one egg smashed against Nigerian faces that they shall not forget or wipe off in a hurry. It evokes the legend of Pandora's box, whose contents are alleged to constitute all the ills that plagues the world, putrid to the core, allied to power provocations in numerous variations, such as catapulting numerous players in the mythology of a serving minister of justice to the hub of governance will. These define the nature of the bequest that has brought the nation to this moment of near dissolution. So that is Wole Soyinka, heavy on drama, but essentially damning Buhari. Let me give you the fullness of it, because it doesn't go that much more. If it was long-winded, I just left it because it's just It's just unnecessarily grammatic. Precedents are no consolation, no excuses. One states the obvious in remarking that precedents either undermines or reinforces principles, and aspiring offenders, especially in the political domain, are encouraged or inhibited by the ease or difficulty of access to the font of mercy. Office holders, we presume, are constrained by the existence of the dangling sword of Damocles, simply knowing that one day the cloak of immunity will turn threadbare, and the awaited day of reckoning finds them answerable. Clearly not anymore. You will forgive, though disagree with me, I know, for clambering onto the Easter wagon myself, to echo the words of one whose passage through the world the Easter season commemorates. It is finished. So there it is right there. Just to burn down the country, essentially, is what Tinubu is saying, what Soyinka is saying. But he is right. The totality of the entirety of what Soyinka is just saying there is that the one banner that Buhari anchored his totality on was that he being a Spartan, being a man of principle, and being a man that is fastidiously honest. So all of that has been wiped away now. So even nobody really believed that he was some soldier, but they thought he was going to come and clean up the corruption space, because that was the mystique that he had created around himself. So not only has corruption festered and blossomed and indeed then mushroomed and ballooned under his tenure, he is now creating these templates that the people who are caught and punished are quickly released by presidential pardon. So what disincentive then is there not to steal? What punishment is the office holder in fear of to prevent him from stealing? When he knows that if he does steal, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So some set-wide pattern in this dispensation, which sets the template for the next dispensation to pardon the next round of looters. So there is nothing to strike fear in the heart of the office holder. Pardon me. So there is nothing to strike fear in the heart of the office holder to prevent him from looting public funds. One, if he doesn't get away with it, he will get a pardon. He knows that. And Oshiomhole, of course, told us, come to APC and your sins are forgiven. So there it is right there. So on to the next. Igbo presidency. Ohanaeze replies Oluwo of Iwo, says accusation untrue. The Apex Igbo Social-Cultural Organization, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, has described as untrue the statement credited to Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akanbi, that the Igbos cannot be trusted with the office of the Nigerian president. Ohanaeze noted that Oba Akanbi's attack on the Igbos was not based on any verifiable evidence, but rather on self-serving interest. Oba Akanbi had, in a statement issued through his chief press secretary, Ali Ibrahim, said that no Nigerian will feel secure in the hands of a leader whose ethnic attachment deprived other Nigerians of their rights. He further accused the Igbos of preventing people from other parts of the country from acquiring properties in their domain, adding that the style by the Southerners is barbaric. Reacting to the allegations on Tuesday, Ohanaeze President General Professor George Obiozo described the accusation as untrue and advised about reacting to the allegations on Tuesday, Ohanaeze President General Professor George Obiozo described the accusations as untrue and advised Oba Akanbi to undergo some tutelage under some more experienced, cosmopolitan, urbane, intelligent monarchs. stating that a well-adjusted traditional ruler is known by being open-minded towards all, especially people of other ethnic groups that may be found in his domain. Obiozo, in a statement issued through the National Publicity Secretary of Ohanaeze, Chief Alex Ogbonia, said, "It is self-evident that Nigeria is a beleaguered nation that urgently needs nation building. Inflammatory and incendiary remarks from monarchs and the highly placed are antithetical to peace and unity of Nigeria. In promoting his preferred candidate, he has committed a fallacy of hasty generalization when he stated that the style by the Southerners is barbaric. The Igbos cannot be trusted with power, amongst others. Surely such prejudice, innuendo, and vitriolic group vilification against the entire Igbo nation is most unreflective of a royal father whose primary duty is to sow seeds of unity in his kingdom and beyond. For the avoidance of doubt, the Igbos are adventurous nation builders. They are found in all parts of Nigeria and beyond. The wild claims that the Igbo prevent people from other parts of the country from acquiring properties in their domain or have an obnoxious policy of depriving of other Nigerians of their rights cannot be sustained. On the other hand, it is inconceivable that a group that built modern houses in all parts of the country will prevent other ethnicities from building in their homestead. One would think that the morbid fabrication of falsehood is terribly. One would think that the morbid fabrication of falsehood is terrible mischief only for the uninitiated. What else? Oba Akanbi is drawn to his paradox, where he acknowledged the damage done to the Igbo during the Civil War and at the same time condemning the agitation by Igbo youths, such as the ESN, for their clamor for inclusiveness based on equity and justice after the 53 years of the Civil War, the statement reads. So that's the back and forth then between the Igbo nation and Igbo nation and Oluwo of Iwo. They don't know him so well. No Yoruba man would spend the time really to pay any attention to anything that Oluwo has to say. We all know him as a drug addict and a 419 guy when he was in Canada. So on to the next, still with the Igbos, and they're still fighting. Igbo board of, I think we've read this. Have we read this? Yes, the Igbo Board of Deputy one. So let's cancel that out, and then let's make this one the last read out. Hopefully this does let me read, because it's one of those. Okay, let me just go for it. What I discussed with Buhari in Abuja on Imo attacks, UZODINMA. Bear with me. It's one of those tricky websites that quickly flicks to some advert. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has updated President Muhammad Buhari on security situations in the state, including the recent killing of staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) by bandits in the state. The governor, who spoke to State House correspondents after the closed-door meeting with the president, said 2 suspects were apprehended on Monday in connection with the incident. According to him, the suspects are currently helping the police in their investigation. The INEC staff were at, oh God, bear with me. The INEC staff were attacked whilst carrying out the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise on the fateful day. 2 of the bandits were arrested on Monday and are helping the Nigerian Police Command in the state to do a very thorough investigation. Until that is done, I will not speak much on that, he said. The governor, however, stated that the initial plan of the bandits was not the INEC staff, but the correctional center facility in Okigwe. He said on getting the information on that, the state government, in collaboration with security agencies, fortified security around the center, thus frustrating the bandits, who later vented their anger on INEC staff. He said the incident that happened that involved the INEC staff, regrettably, INEC was not the target. We had the information that the correctional center facility in Okigwe was to be targeted by bandits, and we caught their conversation, so we fortified the facility. True to it, the bandits, whilst approaching Okigwe, saw how fortified the place was, and they tried to escape through a pathway. So it gives the name of their escape route, but I'm not going to attempt it, where they ran into INEC staff on continuous voter registration, and out of anger and frustration, attacked them. On the insinuation in some quarters that the state government was responsible for some of the attacks in the state and beyond, due to the internal wrangling within the governing party, UZODINMA dismissed such claims. According to him, a government in power cannot shoot itself on the foot by causing mayhem. The governor also dismissed the call by Professor Afe Babalola that an interim government should be formed at the end of the Buhari administration on May the 29th, 2023, instead of conducting the general elections. According to him, the nation's constitution does not provide room for the formation of an interim government. By May the 29th, 2023, if there is no elected government, our constitution has not provided for an interim government. So we shouldn't give a gap otherwise. You will be creating room for anarchy. What will be the process for selecting the interim government? Because by May the 29th, the president will not have the constitutional powers to function as president anymore. So I don't think we will decide to abandon our constitution, and it should be the instrument guiding our actions as a country. If there is an opinion that he thinks is worthy to be canvassed, if there is an opinion that he thinks is worthy to be canvassed, superior to what is currently in the Constitution, such opinion should be taken to the National Assembly, and they will, through due process, amend our Constitution to factor in such opinion, he said. UZODINMA said he also updated the president on the progress of work on 2 reconstruction of federal roads located in Imo. He said he had gotten the president's approval to work on the roads Owerri Olu and Olu Okigwe, and the affected roads will be due for inauguration in May. The roads are almost 95% completed, and by next month they will be completed, and the president has graciously approved that he will be there to do the inauguration of the roads. So there it is right there. That, I'm not quite sure if the time spent on reading that. Actually, let me make this the last read. I was going to abandon this, but let me give you this as well. 2023, I won't allow anybody to destabilize Nigeria, Aboki from Daura. President Muhammad Buhari on Tuesday in Abuja said he would not allow any individual or group destabilize the country. Buhari also urged Nigerians to resist agents bent on causing breakdown of law and order. We have the land, we have the resources, and we have the people. but I do not know why people will allow themselves to be successfully subverted to destabilize their own country. The president said at an iftar dinner with governors, ministers, and head of government agencies. He thanked the governors and ministers for honoring his invitation to break the Ramadan fast and expressed confidence that in spite of the current security challenges, the country will succeed. Speaking on the forthcoming general elections, Buhari said that being beneficiary of free, fair, and credible elections, the introduction of technology and the permanent voters card will make it possible for anyone to claim millions of votes again in the country. So I'm not quite sure if the time spent on that was actually what the time spent on that. So there it is right there. So let's see what's going on. Hold on. Oh, all right, so there it is, like right there, and I've got Ete and Ajanle Koko joining us. So good to have you both, gentlemen. So let me go first to Ete then. Ete, are you ready to go? We don't have Ete.
Yes, I am.
All right, good. So good to have you. Good to have you, Ete. So let me come to. Oh, there.
Stop making. Yeah. Just give me a second.
Oh, all right. No. It is playing daddy. You know, just from that little, we had more sense in that 2 seconds than we've ever heard from Ete himself. Maybe we should have your daughter on, because all you ever talk is just yam in here. So yeah, to you then, Ajanle Koko, whilst Ete is doing daddy, and this now, we thought this was dead and buried, but this battle now between Pastor Bakare and the Eastern Quarters is now become a legal matter. Igbo Board of Deputies drags Pastor Tunde Bakari to court over hate speech, genocidal comments during sermon. So is it one of those things that they should have just let go, or are they right to take this legal route?
How are you, one man?
I'm good.
Yes. Let me urge our listeners around the world and all of you that at the commentary section, please, if you have not thumbs up and hit the like button, so please do that now, and share to your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe as well. So to the question, I don't know what I don't know who those people represent. They said they are board of what? Board of what? Board of
deputies.
Who's deputies? Who are they? The
you know, some in a lot of instances, these things are just permission to land. So they just want to come into space to be recognized as a body, and then they'll just come and make some ludicrous statement about some meaningless nonsense, and then that then announces them as actors in the space.
Yes. So I think they're just grandstanding. They just want to get popular. They want people to know them by coming to the media to say that they are suing Dr. Bakari. Pastor Bakari, for the statement he made in the church. So I just, I don't think that will get them to anywhere. They cannot win because there's nothing to substantiate in that video that he was. What was the allegation against him? What were they charging?
Remember, we treated this. Remember when Bakari went to the southeast and told them that there was a curse put upon them by Tafawa Balewa to say that no Igbo man will become president.
Yes, I remember. What I'm saying, this board of governors, what are they charging him for? Well, what are they? I mean,
they are charging him for they are charging him for false, making a false statement to incite other ethnicities against their ethnicity. And they have written him a letter via their lawyers, copying in the United Nations, the United States, the European Union, Abubakar, everybody.
All of that is just an effort in futility. They cannot get anything out of it. because there are many books being written with respect to what Bakare was making reference to. Some people have written books with regard to that statement that Bakare made. So why can't they go? Why can't they go and sue those people too that wrote books to that
fact,
effect?
I nearly did a video on that, but I just abandoned it, and then I can't quite find the information anymore. So I just shortly after Bakare said that, and he got all of that backlash. Remember Segun Oshoba?
Yes.
He was a journalist at the time, and he was on the spot to say what happened. And he said a lot of what happened. It ties very much with how Bakare delivered it.
Mentioned
Yeah.
So these people, I think it would have been better for them.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
To develop efforts in championing better cause for the Igbo people, and not trying to take on this cheap effort just to popularize themselves and achieve nothing. No, they can still get popularized by fighting for the cause of Igbo in this current administration led by Buhari, brutalization of Igbo people in the East, the killing of Igbo people every day by Nigerian army. That is what they should be speaking against, and not chasing the shadow. This one, to me, is like they are chasing the shadow, and they are not really, honest in fighting for Igbo people interests. So,
what is the purpose of the letter? They are saying that it should mount the pulpit within 7 working days to recant the statement. Otherwise, they would then further to legal proceedings. So, of course, I mean, heavens will fall before Bakare mounts the rostrum and do as is directed by some silly lawyer. So, and they will not go to court for anything. So it's just a nonsense, isn't it? It's just a nonsense, the totality of it.
So, comment your why.
I can barely hear you, man. You need to be speaking up if you want. Oh, what's this guy doing? What are you doing, Charles, man?
No, the 100% why.
No, speak up. No, nobody can hear you. So sort your system.
Your audio is not good, Charles. Do it right.
That's hate speech.
No, thank you, Charles. Nobody can hear you. So go and sort that out and then come back.
Ajani Kogo, you see that the same thing that we're accusing the Northerners of not saying the truth when they see evil. Now a man of God, a so-called man of God, is coming around to say that when an Igbo person sees his brother doing evil, you should leave him. You should not talk that his brother is doing evil. How does that make sense? We're accusing the Northerners that they are not talking that Buhari is doing evil. They are not talking about all the atrocities in the north. Now a Southerner is saying all these things.
What are you trying to say? I don't get your point.
Neither do I.
I don't get what you're saying.
What's the point you're making, Ete?
Yeah, the point I'm making is this. I saw the video of his sermon. You understand? He was saying that Igbos is the problem of Igbo. That when an Igbo person is doing a wrong thing, a Igbo person will correct him in the public.
No, that wasn't Bakare. That was Suleiman. You're mixing it up.
Yes, sorry, Suleiman. That's the person I'm talking about. Suleiman,
yeah, that was Suleiman. So, yeah.
I'm saying that thing that Suleiman was talking about, is that not the same thing that we are accusing the Northerners of doing?
We are not talking about Suleiman. This talking point right here is about what do you call it?
What we're talking about was that about a week or so ago, even just under, Pastor Tunde Bakari went to the east, and in his course of his prayer, he sermonized that the Easterners, they were under a curse put upon them at the point of death. by Tafawa Balewa that they would never come to good and rule Nigeria. And he is saying that that cause is what is holding the Igbo space back. And he was there to pray for absolution. So he thought he was there on a good mission, but that didn't quite go down well with the Easterners, and they've been chasing him around the country ever since. So this lawyer, now acting on behalf of a group, has now given him a 7-day ultimatum to withdraw that offer to pray for the East, or they will take to legal proceedings. And they've copied the United Nations, America, European Union, and everybody in this now act of aggression against the pastor. Is it the
same Bakare that is declared for president? Is it the one that says he wants to be president?
There are no two of them now. It has to be the same one.
Wait.
And he's coming out to make that. Why is the cause failed? Because some the south of which we have today was the eastern part of the country in those days, and they've ruled Nigeria. So what is he talking about? Where is a good
you see what's going everybody's system
in days of prophet in those days. So what is he saying? What he's saying
hold on.
That's why they say that
can you hear me?
Should not come and,
you can't hear me.
Yeah, can
you hear me? Yes. Can you move around a bit, because your system is dipping in and out heavily, just like Charles was just then. All right.
Okay, let me adjust it.
Yeah, that's better. If you can hold that spot, yeah.
So these people, they just grandstanding. They don't really fighting for Igbo's interest. They just want to get popular. Just like I said, they can do better than that by condemning this administration brutality of Igbo people, fighting for the cause of Igbo by fighting for the right of Igbo people, in Nigeria, within the Nigerian entity. That is the best thing to do. Dr. Bakari was referring to what some people have said in the past, and the way he put it, it
wasn't meant as an act of aggression.
It was not. It wasn't.
It wasn't an attack.
It wasn't an attack. It was just referring to it and was praying. It ended up with prayer that cause, according to the history, what the history said, that cause should be eliminated. That is what he was doing. He was just praying for the Igbo. It was just saying that Igbo were part of Nigeria. Igbo are entitled to the position of presidency, and Igbo will surely be president of Nigeria. So it did not condemn Igbo people. It did not chastise them. It did not say any bad thing about Igbo. I don't know why some people are making this as an issue. I watched in Genje Media. He was crazy on that day. He was misinforming his viewer on his platform, and he was talking all sort of nonsense. And some people, follow that up with anger and tribal. They injected some tribal sentiment into it.
Remember, Ajane Koko, that a lot of them came from that space here to come and vent the anger that this guy had. That he had instilled in them. They came to vent the anger that he had put in them in this space. Remember?
Yes. One of them was Zero. Who is that?
It's Babati.
Oh, one of them was Zero that day. He was very, very angry until when we played the video. You remember, you shoot for the video and you play it, and he said, "Oh, I didn't know this is how it happened." He finally agreed that this man did not say anything bad about Igbo. So it will be. I know that they cannot win. They can't get anything out of it. They will be defeated at the law court. It's just simply an issue of, freedom of expression. He didn't make any insightful statement against the Igbo. He didn't make any derogatory statement against them. So what are they talking about?
Yeah, Aja, please let me ask you. Compared to what you've heard from the north, those stories from the north, what Bakare said is very mild, in my opinion. It was not even an attack. It's very mild. So when are you going to sue imams from the north? Would they even dare sue any imam from Kano for saying something ridiculous, even worse than that? They will never do that. It's because the pastor and it's a soft target. That's my opinion. It's something you can easily just pick up and mess with. And how does this lawsuit help your cause to become president? You are making your case worse. You are further dividing the country to not even trust you further by doing this. So I don't know what the point of this so-called lawsuit is. And this online uproar about in the media, I saw that too. I thought it was a so-called intellectual. For him to have taken that route, I was surprised. Sorry, I was.
Oh, you watch it too?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy talking about?
I was shocked on that day because I so much respect that guy. I like the way he presents himself.
I'm like, guy, you are.
I was shocked.
So I was amused. I'm like, why would you, as a leader of your group, do that? So it's fitting into this narrative of the Yoruba betrayed us thing that people still have in the back of their minds. So it's fitting into that narrative. But my bigger point is that it is sad to watch the leadership in the East lose focus on the ball. And like we've said here before, if you miss this turn, that means for the next 16 years, you won't take this presidency. And the way they're going with this, like one man said the other time, it might even take longer than 16 years. We might be looking at 30 years if they keep this up.
So all right, but the ludicrousness of it to institute a lawsuit is unnecessary. It's like using a sledgehammer to kill an insect, sort of thing.
Right, like you know, what is the? But I'm saying, what is the point? What are you achieving? Okay, go to the US, to the UK to say what? No. To say a pastor. You know how they feel about Christians in those countries. To say a pastor said something about what? If you were to be something from Kano now, I would say, okay, maybe you have a point. But the man is a renowned world preacher that has a branch in America, for God's sake. You know, the man has a branch in ATL. So I don't know what the point is, the goal of this whole. So I think it's just to feed into this narrative and to garner support within their own movement, and to fit into this stereotypical tribal narrative that they've been bringing up for years. And it will not help you for the presidency. You're not helping your group. Peter Obi is fast going to relevance. Nobody's even talking about the guy anymore. And yet you are here filing lawsuits against pastors all over the place. I don't get these people. I'm sorry.
All right. So talking about Peter Obi going fast into irrelevance, Pantami disconnected phone numbers from national electricity grid. This is Tinubu now. So Adanle Koko, no matter how much you square it, there's early signs of senility in this guy. This is dementia, isn't it? In what country is the phone numbers plugged into the electricity national grid? What? Come on, man. It's almost impossible to defend.
It's NEPA line, you know, NEPA line.
NEPA line. So that's Pantami disconnecting your phones from NEPA line. How does that come together in the head before it comes out in the mouth as something to say?
I don't know, one man. You see,
Agbatide.
And that is why, you know, Dagba kó lọ jókòó, kó má dàrẹ̀ láàmú. But you know, well, it's just unfortunate that some people still want to line behind Tinubu. Some people still want to champion him. for presidency. He physically showed that he's weak in the body, and when he speaks, it shows that you know, he's you can see that something is not right. But however, on that very day, he looked very energetic. Though he was speaking like
we saw him break dancing now.
yeah, he looked very energetic. I was surprised on that day. I said, which medicine did he use? What kind of stuff did he had on, you know?
No, he did not. He did not. He was the tricky guys because he was not wearing his agbada. He was wearing
no. So I mean, the way he delivered his speech, he delivered it forcefully. He's talking. He wasn't slow in his, you know, when he was delivering his speech. He was fast. He was sharp. I say, Baba, don't eat something. No, I'll be waiting.
Hello? All right. I think we've lost Ajanle Kokosombo. So
I'm
who
here.
have we? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So there's a second half to that piece. There's a second half to that piece. It says God, there's so much heavy reverb today. Oh no, Ajanle Koko, let me come off you because the background noise is just too much. Let me go to Babati. The background now is too heavy.
What did you say?
The background right now. No,
what did you say, woman?
Heavy background. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a bit.
It's better now.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So I was just saying that there's a second half to that piece, the Tinubu's piece. I was just going to bring it to you. It says, Mr. Tinubu's age has been a subject of public controversy as some politicians who have known him for decades past insist he should be in his 80s and not 70s, as he's officially claiming. So it stunned me as well when this guy goes around saying he's like in his 70s. It's not a 70, and not even in his 70s, so that is just recently clocked 70. Do you buy that?
Well, a lot of people have been a lot of people have said this before, that that man's age is not right, that he cut his age down, and he look older than his age, but at the same time, if we cannot find any proof to show that that is not his right age, we just have to accept it the way it is.
His first born just turned what, 61, Abi? That daughter that was
who told you that? You people keep spreading that rumor. Were you there at the back today?
No. I'm saying that the age disparity is so ridiculous. Come on now. Did you born the baby when you 10 years old? Did you go to Christland where you had the baby or what? Come on now. That's
my ridiculous. God, are we now using Christland as a metaphor now?
Maybe he had a baby when he was 12 years old. Who knows?
When he was 9 years old,
yeah,
he had a baby.
Yeah, you know.
So his name need to go into Guinness Book of Record. The man that had a baby at the age of 9 years.
But
so you see, there's this Irish playwright called Oscar Wilde, and his greatest piece was a play called Dorian Gray. So it's called The Portrait of Dorian Gray. So what that story is that this guy called Dorian Gray, when he turned 21, he commissioned an artist to paint his picture. So the artist painted so realistically, it was almost as though it was a person in that picture, but there was so much evil in that eye. So this guy, Dorian Gray, he then took that portrait and went and hid it in his attic. So years came and years went, but this guy, he never aged beyond that day. So he go out, because he was a socialite, man about town, all his friends turned 50, etc., etc. You know, but he never aged beyond that date. It was just. Let me abandon it.
No. That one did not work because you said that the man used a idea. It's
just an Irish play. I was actually essentially using it as a metaphor for Tinubu, who seems to be getting younger.
But let me ask you, why do you think nobody has asked this guy about his Osun origin? Why has nobody asked him about it? IBG and all those. I'm surprised nobody in the media has actually, questioned him about all those allegations about his age and his place of birth and his education. So if you had a true media in the country, they should be investigating.
You know that these guys, they don't really interact with the media. There's no real interaction. When did he last interact with the media? His interaction with the media is to be on some rostrum somewhere.
No.
Okay. Let people finish sentences, Babati.
Okay.
So his interactions with the media was essentially to stand on rostrum somewhere or to make an announcement or a speech. And it doesn't often get into a question and answer session, is what I was about to say. So, Babati.
No. What I was saying is that you do your own investigative piece. You put it out there. That will force a response, right? If you do an investigative piece on a candidate and you put it out there, that forces him to respond to that story. Is my point. So even in Stina or not, regardless of that will force a response from him.
All right, fair enough. So, Ajanle Koko, lots of mysteries. Oh, wow, I might abandon. There's just so much. Oh, Ajanle Koko, I think I'm going to have to go to engineer. There's the echo from your side is too heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, let me go to engineer. Engineer, let me come to you. There's too much reverb in that space. So we were talking about Tinubu engineer and the questions about his age, his health, his senility or lack thereof is just, it's almost. I don't think he even has to step down. No, nobody has to push him. As the days go by and it appears in public more, he increasingly appears not to be fit for purpose.
Well, greetings, one man, and greetings to Ajanle Koko.
Well, what have you done to your hair, engineer?
Now, just come out from shower.
Look at this guy. You are tasting babes again, Abby?
No. I just come out from shower, so it's just the hair is not dry. Well, Tinubu. Wow, the man, to be honest, one man, it's only him that can tell his real age, because with the way things are going, Tinubu, I think Tinubu is even he seniors Atiku, and I think he's that kind of Buhari, IBB mate, because with the nature of his body, the way his body is reacting now, you can see it clearly that the man, to be honest, he's not a young man, and he's not he's like a real grandfather. That's who he is, because with his age, honestly, I think Tinubu should be about 80 or 80 plus. That's what I can say.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. His contemporaries in politics, people like Bode George, etc., they are in their 80s, but he seems to be getting younger as the years go by. So there it is. Let me take you from there to this space. Chris Ngige finally declares his intention to run for president, claiming that he towers above everybody in contention. Equally similarly, Kwakwanso in another party that he's now moved to declare his presidential ambitions. So it's now the seasons of declaration, because we are getting to the business end now of the political timetable. So what are you then making? Well, the only name we're waiting for now is Afayemi. So everybody now in the race that we anticipated, engineer.
Yeah, many are called, few are choosing. I must be honest with you, one man, because at this stage now, everybody wants to show that yes, they want to come out to join the presidency, and also what is currently happening. Like I said, it's a free world. They can come and do whatever they want to do. But the thing is, the record these people are labeling in that country, Nigeria, what is going on, is something that we need to know more about them. Like, for instance, anyone coming to said, okay, they want to become Nigerian president, what they need to do is they need to check their record. What have they done so far in the past, let's say 8 or 16 years in power? What have they done to the country? What have they do something that has impact to the young generation life, or have they do something in the country that people will say, yes, these are the kind of people we need in future, or this is the man that we need that can run that country. But if anyone wants to come out to say, okay, they want to join the presidency, all the best. But something we need to realize is not he or she that start the race that will finish the race. So people can come out and say whatever they want to say, or they feel like what they want to say, or maybe they want to intimidate others. So it's a free world. We're in democracy. If they want to do whatever they want to do, all the best. Good to go.
All right, brilliant, engineer. So, still with we go back to the eastern space. Igbo presidency. Ohanaeze replies Oluwo of Iwo. So you heard the accusation. Were you here when we covered the Oluwo of Iwo when he came in? So what he had done, he said that it is impossible for an Easterner to be president of the country because they are so tribal that people people from other parts of the country cannot go to their space to own property, and there's a deep suspicion that they are somewhat still hung up on the Civil War thing. So all of that narrative, all the traditional narratives that they throw at the East, but it looks as though what especially upsets the Easterners is that a senior man of Oluwo's standing made this comment. So Ohanaeze comes back in somewhat of an insultive tone. So what are you making of Oluwo's comment and Ohanaeze's response?
Well, man, I keep saying it on this platform, and I will continue to say it. No one should take it offensive, but it's just the reality and it's just the truth. Some time ago, I said if Yorubas and Igbo, they don't come together and work together, I'm telling you, it's just going to be a long way. And it's just going to be a hard thing in that country, Nigeria. Because if today Igbo and Yoruba should understand themselves, they should have learned. They should learn from what is happening with this present government that we're having now. They should see things. It's something that they have to unite. They have to sit down, put heads together, and work together. With all this thing that is happening, they have seen it. Buhari has made it clearly to them that he's just there for his people, Fulanis, and he's doing well for his people. Look at what is happening. Every corner of Nigeria, every uniform people, every people in power, they're all Fulanis. So what does that tell you? Nigeria, we have been there for that long. We have Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. They are in currency. Most of the three major languages, they're in Nigerian currency. So at least they should see things now and start like having that kind of unity in between themselves. Now, in another way now, what do you think the Fulanis will be saying? They will be pointing fingers on the Yorubas and the Igbos that look at them. They want to start fighting for presidency because there is no unity in between those two regions. And it's something that they need to, honestly, the day Igbo and Yoruba will sit down and discuss things and make things for good, honestly, Nigeria will be straight. Because those are the two major languages that they are the pillar of that country, but they don't want to unite. I don't know why. This thing is ongoing something. Anywhere we go, any places, it's like there's a little bit kind of barrier between the Igbos and the Yorubas. I don't know why. It's something that's very, very, it's completely unfair, and it's something that they need to really sit down and sort this thing out once and for all.
Do you know what I speculate, engineer? Because what you are saying is right. There's always just this element between the Easterners and the Yorubas. So I speculate that the Easterners and the Yorubas, they are very similar in so many ways, and they are vying for the same spot. They are equally as educated as each other. They are equally as intelligent as each other. They occupy pretty much the same space as each other, but and they are fiercely, proud of their history and culture. The Yoruba man is fiercely proud of his history and culture. The Easterners, they are fiercely proud of their history and culture. But rather than them to blend into each other, one is insisting that the other one give way to him so that he can be a foot ahead. So is who actually is a battle for supremacy is what I really read into that somewhat tension that you see between the Easterners and the Westerners.
Because honestly, one man, Nigeria is a lovely country. It's a good country. But with the coming of Buhari, it's an open eye to everybody in that country. Whether you are other language, you are this, it's an open eye. And this is the best opportunity now for the Easterner and the South, the Southwest. They should sit down, discuss this thing. Honestly, how can we get that power off from that Fulani zone? Because the Hausa people, they have no say. That's 100% guaranteed. They have no say because the Fulani, they boycott them, they overthrow them, and the Hausa are just below the Fulanis. But the main issue now is what are the things that the Yorubas and the Igbos will sit down and discuss, because they have to find solution to that country. Just like you said, if you come in terms of Akada, they are good in that. The two region, they are perfectly. If you travel worldwide, you see Igbo, you see Yoruba. If you travel everywhere in this world, you see them there. They have that brain, they have that creativity in them. But the question is, what is happening in Nigeria between the Yorubas and the Igbos? It's something they need to, honestly, if they can call all the traditional leaders from Igbo and the Yorubas, let them sit down and make sure that they discuss things very well. Otherwise,
engineer, they get bad leadership. That is the problem. Not the people, but bad leadership. So that when they are divided, those leadership make gains. That is when they make gains. That is when things work for them, for their own selfish interests. That is the problem. And that is why I will keep on telling you, all these people you've seen as leadership on both sides, in both the APC and PDP, let us drive them out. Let us look for the right leadership that are ready with leadership with the modern, that rhyme with the modern reality, that are ready to work together. That is all this old crap that are divided us against each other. They are the real problem. And as long as we are divided, that is when they make gain. That is what that works for them. And they uses that to make bargain, to create way to get to be wealthy, and make some good money into their pocket. That is just it. The people are not they are not the problem. Do you not see Igbo man and Yoruba man doing business together? You see them, but when it comes to politics, the politicians, the political leaders, yes, they will cause problem. They will drive tribal sentiment, and people, people that cannot think for themselves will follow them, and that's why it works for the leaders. So we have to drive them out.
Yeah, but Ajale Koko, like, okay, let's say for today, what can things go in place to kick the APC and the PDP out of that power, and who do you think we're going to vote for? Is Ajale Koko there?
No, I think it's in the middle of.
What did you say?
Yeah, I said in terms of the APC and the PDP, let's assume today, what party will these people, what party is Nigeria going to have to start mobilizing people and to make sure they kick this APC and PDP? Another thing you need to understand, who is going to generate the fund for the party that will kick the APC and the PDP out of that power? Because these people, they have that money, they will influence anyone, and they will use money to bribe everybody in that country when it comes to that election. But if today we have another party that is willing to kick APC and PDP out, who is going to generate that fund for that party to succeed?
One man, sorry, engineer, let me tell you, you cannot eat your cake and have it, and you cannot have it both ways. So you have to choose one. If you want to say because of money or because you want to eat now, you don't want to do the right thing, then what you want to eat now, you will eat it now, and tomorrow you'll be hungry, you don't have anything to eat, and you just sell your future off easily like that. The money is secondary. The most important thing is that will by us, the sacrifice you want to make. We have to make sacrifice. We have seen it all. These people from both parties, they constitute the leaders, the leadership, our leadership. And they have not done good for us from both sides. All the leaders in that country, you see them in those two parties, all the political leaders. So if we still want to maintain these political leaders, or still want to follow them as our leader, they won't lead us to nowhere. All they know to do is to divide people, and they make their money from there. They're using the people to make money. But people, at this time, we have seen it all. We have followed them for too long, and we are not getting anything out of it. But what we are getting out of it is just a continual darkness that we are put into perpetual darkness, and we have to take ourselves out of that darkness, and look for the light. So to get the light, the light, and the light is for us. The action to get the light is to take them out. These are not good leaders. The good leaders are gone. Good leaders that sacrifice for their people. These ones, they are users. The good leaders are gone. Those are Awolowos. Those are the Umbadiwe. Those are they have gone. Amadu Bello. What do you call them? They have all gone. All the ones you see, even in the north. What have those that constitute themselves as northern leaders? What have they done good for their own people? But if you go and read the history of Aminu Kano and Tafawa Balewa, you can see what these people did for their people. They work hard for their people in the north. Even though we can say, okay, they didn't educate their people more. But the little they do, they sacrifice. They were not rich people. They were not rich. No. And they live a very simple life. Look at all those constituents. You want to see them, they live in a secluded area, big cars, children abroad. These are not leaders. They are users. They uses the people for their own benefit. That's it. So that is it. Just a sacrifice. We cannot make sacrifice. Then we destroy our future. We destroy ourselves now. We destroy the future of our coming generation. That's it, engineer.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. But do you see any party that will come and defeat PDP and APC today?
What do you say, engineer?
I said, do you see any party that will come out and defeat APC or PDP?
It depends on the people. They can defeat them. If we have a level playing field election, what do you call it? A transparent, a well-organized election and transparent election in Nigeria that avoid rigging, they will defeat them. You think they are
how
popular?
are you sure that how are you so sure that these parties are not the will of the people?
They have
Why
been
are you so?
rigging the election. One man, go and check the record. These people have been rigging. They have been rigging themselves to
not
power.
sufficient to the level that one of them will not be the government.
They have been rigging the election. They have been looting your resources to rig the election.
Not sufficient to the level that one of the parties will not be the government. Rigging, no, we know they rig. But what I'm saying is, even without rigging, there's a likelihood that even if people vote of free will, they will still vote for this party over and above any other party.
Go and look at the number of people registered 499. The number of people registered against people that voted. That will tell you that they are not popular. A lot of people don't come out to vote because they have seen that they are not practicing democracy the way a lot of people hate them that sit back home, don't come out to vote. You think they don't want to vote? Why did they go and register when they don't want to vote? But they see a situation where they will take out volunteer, tokenism, and they kill people. A lot of people are scared. They will not go out on election day to vote. But when the election is based on issue, election is based on what do you call it? It's based on issue, and they see that the leadership show a level of sacrifice, and they relate well to the people. People will come out and vote for them if they base their campaign on issue, and they work hard and fulfill their electioneering promises. People will come out more to vote. But because they did not base this thing on issue and they don't perform, people don't feel energized to come out. So if we have,
you see, I'm not convinced that even if we have a level playing field and the elections were free and fair, one of these two parties will still not win the elections, because people in Nigeria, they vote for mythology, they vote for personality, and all of the big personalities are often in those parties. So the idealist that will theorize what works, the Pastortundes, the Showores, the Mogalus, the Nigerians would never really rhyme with these people, free and fair election or not. Even in the freest election we've ever experienced, the president still likely to come either from APC or PDP.
Well, that is the way you see it. But I'm telling you,
that's the reality of it.
It is not the reality. They have been rigging themselves to power. They've been looting resources. They've subjected people into poverty and bribery.
When they rig themselves, who do you think they are rigging against?
Who did that? It's against each other.
Yes, exactly. So they are not rigging to so that's exactly the right the answer. What I thought as well.
They're rigging against each other, and they rig out party that, like that of Showore party, they will rig them out completely. And
so they're not rigging against Showore. They are not rigging against Kwakwanso in his new party. APC is rigging against PDP, and PDP is rigging against APC.
Yeah, because both of them,
in a level playing field, one of them will always.
Both of them, there is no difference between both of them. They are bed of the same fella. They just share themselves into two parties, and they just, and they contest election.
The biggest names in politics are in either of those two parties.
It is not one man. If you have level playing field, some other party people will vote for other party and defeat them. But because
I'm saying the biggest names in Nigerian politics.
Forget about those failures.
Whether they are corrupt or not, but the biggest names in Nigerian politics are
don't champion failure. They are failure. Don't champion them. Don't tell them.
I'm not championing them, but this narrative that they always rig themselves in. Yes, in a fair election, they will still beat everybody.
They will not win. If we have level playing field, they will be defeated. But they control one man. They control all the resources in Nigeria. They control the police. they control, they rig all the time. They rig, they corner the wealth of the country, and they win. They rig themselves to power all the time. That is what you see. It is not, they are not popular. That is why you will see out of a number of people that registered voter, you will see 15% or 20% coming out to vote. For example, in Lagos, APC said that they have 10 million voters, 10 million registered member in their party. But on election day, you see they have 700,000. On election day, 700,000 or 800,000 voted for Sanwo-Olu against 10 million they said they have on their party register. Look at that disparity. How can you? I mean, how can you? What kind of? How can you measure it? How can you measure that disparity between that to 800,000 to 10 million? So they can have in their own party, at their own member. Not
but that's
public.
voter party now. That's global.
In their
That's
own
global.
party, it's not global. That is fraud. It's not
Voter
global
party.
like that.
There's not overrep or there's not voter apathy globally.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. I am saying they claim to have 10 million in their as a party register. Party register is different from INEC register. INEC register is for the public, everybody in the that are registered to vote. But in their own, they are members. And when they say party member, those are committed people to APC. On elections day, you see 700,000.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm telling you is that we don't have a level playing field in Nigeria that encourages people to come out and vote, and they use.
But that 10 million, surely you know, is that they are just abstract figures. They are newspaper figures now.
Yeah, they are fictitious name.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm telling you is that if we have an issue-based politics in Nigeria, and we have politicians that perform, more people will come out to vote. But people registered, and these politicians came to power, they did not perform, they were looting, they discouraged a lot of people from coming out to vote. So we don't have level playing field because they kill people on election day and they still be declared as winner. We saw what happened in Kogi State. They kill people on governorship election day, and they still declare the result of that very spot where they killed people. We saw police aiding them in carrying boxes, in voting. I mean, this is if we have a free and fair election, under a free and fair election, these two parties will be defeated because people are not stupid. People are not that stupid.
All right, let's hear engineer's take on that. Engineer, do you think in a free and fair election, the APC and the PDP will be voted out?
No, impossible.
It's not now.
Impossible, because Ajale Koko, you said something earlier on. They already have people that they are working for them in the politics, in the uniforms, in this.
That is what make it not free and fair.
No, I'm talking about free and fair election.
Yeah, that's what make it not free and fair. When you have police working for them, you have army working for them, you have INEC work. That is not a free and fair.
No, working for them, that does not mean that they are being kind of
what we're discussing is if all of those things were not in play and just the voters the voters vote is what determines the winner of an election.
I don't understand what is free and fair.
Yes, that is the problem. Thank you,
Ego. You know what goes on with the engineer. He's doing work as well as listening to the thing. So it's never really fully with us.
No. One man, this is something we need to understand here, right? If someone is being elected as a governor, obviously he will carry his own power and settle them. people who they are there, they work for him, they help him to become the governor. Definitely he will sort them out. You either find a contract and give it to them, or find one or two deal and give it to them. When it comes to his second tenure, it's the same people again, that they will have their own people again that they're working together with. Those are the people again that will still vote for the same person. So if in terms of free and fair election, you can classify that as free and fair.
No. No. Let it go take it on. I think Ego knows where the Ego. Do you understand the conversation that I'm pushing Ajaleko?
Well,
I'm saying if the election is free and fair, devoid of influence, and the voters' vote count to elect somebody, I'm saying even with that, PDP or APC will still win.
quite agreed. Quite agreed. It will be difficult to defeat them, even in a free and fair contest. The reason be that these two parties, is the party known by Nigerians. These two parties, they are everywhere in the country. In the past election, the last election, you will know how many votes those other parties they came up with. Some are getting 30,000, some are getting 20,000, some are getting 25,000. Is this kind of is this vote that they are having, they want to use to defeat PDP or APC? So even in a free and fair contest, it will be difficult for any party to come and defeat these people, because they have the money, they have everything in their disposal, and Nigerians are hungry. Even in a free and fair election, Nigerians will still take money from their hand to vote for them. So when it is free and fair, you will see that the APC and the PDP will be very difficult to defeat by an outside party or one party who just come from nowhere. It will be very difficult. Nigeria has not woken up to that level.
All right, thank you. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, this, you see, Ego now know what I'm saying, and he explained much better, because one man, it's very difficult, these people to for somebody to defeat them, because they have their own people, they have their own friends, they have their own colleagues who they are there in terms of contract, in terms of allocations, in terms of, we have in Nigeria today, you can never get a job with what you merit. If you like, have billions of qualifications, have PhD, whatever you have, but if you don't have that connection, that connectivity, just forget it. It's a past tense. So whatever we do in Nigeria now is all about connection. Not even Nigeria alone. It's all the world. The world has changed. People don't get to job based on what they study or based on what they merit, but because of connectivity, because of, I'm the son of this or I'm the son of that, it's happening in Nigeria. Brutai, what happened to Brutai? Brutai, dad is a close friend to Buhari. But when Buhari came into power, he elected him. So it's just connectivity. That's what is happening.
All right, thank you, engineer. I agree with you, but for different reasons. I feel that all of the biggest names in Nigerian politics, they are either in the PDP or the APC. These are the names that people are used to, and these are the names that people want to be governed by. So even in a free and fair election, they'll still vote for the names that they know, rather than some guy coming up with theory that they don't understand, So in a free and fair election, they will still vote for the people. It's Stockholm syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
The APC and the PDP, both parties are the same, and these people have already captured the mind of Nigerians, and they have everything. Your friends, your colleagues, they are APC, they are PDP. They will never go and vote for any MPP or whatever. This is the position that we find ourselves today. But Nigeria must look out for only 3 people in this election: Peter Obi, Yemi Osinbajo, Wike, Yesu Wike, These three people are the people to look out for as the president of Nigeria, next president. These are the only three people to look out for. Anything outside this one, Nigeria will go into the drain. That's the truth.
But Igor, you are supporting the looters as well. What are you talking about?
Supporting who?
Yeah,
Who's
we are
looters?
calling for free and fair election. You are going back to those criminals that
None of them. These people I mentioned their name. They don't have any criminal record. Peter Obi don't have criminal record.
They do.
Osibanjo do not have
do you know that criminal? Do you know that
Wike do not have criminal record? These three people I just mentioned, they are free of criminal records.
Peter Obi has a criminal record, and so does Yemi Ochibanjo.
The Panama scam, I mean, Pandora scam.
Yeah, the Pandora Papers, yeah.
The Osibanjo is what?
And the Ochibanjo, you remember that Lekki, the Koyi building that collapsed and killed a lot of people?
Yeah.
That was his project. I don't know about Wike, but he smells corrupt.
Well, Wike that is using the resources of the state to carry for his presidential campaign. All the flights
and the money that is donated
is at the expense of the state now. It's kind. You say you want to contest for president.
Wike has built rivers more than the first 2-3 governors of Rivers State in this democracy.
You forget, he's stealing all the expenses for his campaign. If you don't know,
Wike has built Rivers State more than the first 2-3 governors since this democracy. He has developed Rivers State more than Odili and Rotimi and Mishi combined.
That is not easy. What we are saying, the corrupt system.
Brother, when you are corrupt and you are spending the money in the country, we will be seeing it now. Not that you be corrupt and be leaving us with dry road.
We can just you see, we discussed this on this platform. We can just complete the abandoned project. That's what is more. You understand? We can just completed abandoned project.
And did more, not abandoned ones. He did more. He built more new ones.
Majority of the projects that you said he did is abandoned project. He just completed them.
No. He completed all abandoned projects and built new projects. Wike 8 years in office. There is no year Wike did not commission 5 to 10 projects.
Yeah,
5
but remember,
to 10.
Remember,
in this 8 years in office, I'm telling you, ranging from staff quarters, ranging from judges' quarters, ranging from road, bridges, he's everywhere. Court, Supreme Court, new court, he's everywhere.
But
these are the things we look. See, if they are embezzling this money and they are developing Nigeria for us, we will not know that they are embezzling money. The reason we are knowing that they are stealing us this much is because they are not doing anything. The country, the life of the people are not improving. It's the reason why we know that these people are crooks and thieves. See, if they are building this country, you will not know that they are stealing you. They're not building the country, that's why.
My brother, when you come to Wike, listen, pensioners are crying up to date. They haven't been paid. Is it the same governor that went and buy Prado to every lawyer in Rivers State?
Every judge, yes.
You understand? My brother, I beg, let's just forget about that Wike area, man. I'm telling you, pensioners are crying up to date. They haven't paid them their money. And it's the same governor that is buying Prado, brand new Prado, up to more than 50. And he's giving all the Chief Justice in Rivers State.
My brother, Peter Obi, Zamfara governor bought Cadillacs now. More than 700 Cadillacs.
260.
Cadillacs.
That one is Ogboji.
Is what?
260. Yeah.
You know what Yoruba call Ogboji.
That guy, I'm afraid of that Zamfara guy. The guy is very dreaded guy. He's just selling the old gold in Zamfara, putting the money in his pocket.
Matawali. So when it's your turn, you eat. But eat and remember, and keep the rest.
You are encouraging the corruption. When it's your turn, you hit. What turn? You hit the people's money and put it in your pocket.
We can't lie to
The
ourselves.
resources of Nigeria belong to Nigerians.
I'm not
No
encouraging
leadership
nobody.
should come to power as a poor man and become rich when they leave office. They should all go to jail for coming to the office poor and getting rich when they get out of the office. It's under the expense and the detriment of the citizens of this country. They steal them, they steal all their future, they steal their destiny, they steal their tomorrow, and they become very rich. While the average Nigerian is there looking for how to get his job of $20 in a month or $50 in a month. How can you feed your family with $50 in a month in this country?
Brother,
and you are telling me that Pastortunde is wrong, that he wants to give people 100,000 naira? It's not enough. They can do it. It's doable. Paying the citizens of this country 100,000 naira, including those that doesn't have job, is doable in this country. What are you talking about? Buhari came into the office as a poor man. He said it in the television. He said by being poor, he was voted for. But when the daughter was doing marriage or the son the other time, we saw over 3,000 private jets in this country. Or which expense? So what are we talking about in this country?
That's why
we should begin to think of the people, the citizens of this country, from the desert of Sambisa Forest to the creek of Bayelsa and Agua, to the riverine area across the entire country. We should begin to think of each and every citizen as a Nigerian. According to Sibajo, he said we are going to create a country that speaks Nigerian language, not a country that they say one is an Igbo man or Yoruba man or an Hausa man. We don't want that kind of country.
Yeah, but Ego, there's something you need to understand. In 2015, I have that clip where El-Rufai clearly said something that he's completely right. Before you join politics, you must be dirty. So that's something you need to know. Every Nigerian politician, they are dirty. Because if they said they should follow what their godly mind said they should do, they will be killed. Or either they would not succeed in that seat. That's something you need to know about politics. Before you join the politics, you must be dirty. Otherwise, you're not ready to start. That's what is happening. And it's something that is affecting every Nigerian citizens up to date.
Engineer, if I may say something, the only difference between the dirtiness of that of Nigerian politician and other is this: Nigeria politicians, they are mostly criminals, not you can be dirty the way you play politics, you play some prank, but this guy, they are robbers. They are looters. So when we are talking of dirtiness of politics, this is not this type of dirtiness of Nigerian politics. So let's give them their name. So they are crooks. They are rogue, jaguda. So that they are dirty.
What are you making of that conversation, Ola, that in a free and fair election, PDP and APC would be voted out? Do you agree with that, or do you think they will win free and fair or not?
I don't know the basis where they put that in on. Like I said, see, if people in diaspora and middle class are supposed to vote, right? Probably they will give it a very good fight. Maybe go
anybody can vote but just free and fair without any of it's still at your discretion. But the election is free and fair, and it largely represents the will of the people. So will the PDP and APC be voted out?
I don't think so.
Why not? Why not?
Because our people, when we say grassroots politics, and when you pick someone that all the locals can identify with, sometimes they don't really care about the party they belong to. It is more of, for example, in Ekiti, this is the son of Lagbaja, all those things. It is more of that than even the party itself. So that the Omolagbaja they are talking about now, if that Omolagbaja happen to be in the PDP, they will vote. If the Omolagbaja happen to be in the APC, they will vote for that person. So sometimes, at that local level, it is they are voting for personality sometimes. So so in a free and fair, if their candidates are within in APC or PDP, they will vote. If the candidates leave that party and go to join Showore or somewhere party, they will vote for that person. So that is the way some of the local politics are played.
That is what I was trying to hint at as well, Lola. That
hold on. Can I expatiate on free and fair?
Oh, go on.
Free and fair, they avoid bribery and buying vote. You cannot bribe.
That's fair. Yeah.
You cannot bribe. You cannot. There's police will do their job the way they're supposed to do it. There is no tokenism. There is no ballot box snatching. People will come out easily without fear of being attacked by thugs and vote. If you have all of that in place in Nigeria, PDP and hold on now, PDP and APC will lose election because you are going to have a level playing field. You're going to have issue-based politics where people will come out in front of people and discuss issue. They will tell people how they are going to perform and how they are going to get money to do it, and everything will be based on performance. You don't perform, people will not vote for you. So they can't win because all they know is to bribe their way to power. But when there is no opportunity to bribe way to power, they cannot win election.
The question is, what do Nigerians vote for? Ideas and ideologies or personalities? So I will contend that Nigerians vote for personalities. They don't. Buhari never came up with any idea, and I said I will end corruption. He didn't tell you how, and he said I will finish Boko Haram. He didn't tell you how. So they voted for personalities, and all through Nigeria's history, they've always voted for personalities. So if they are voting for personalities, and all the big personalities are in the big parties, they will still vote for them.
No, before we weren't voting for we vote on ideology.
When was that? Ideology,
during the time of Awolowo and MPN, we know their ideology. The ideology of MPN is different from ideology of UPN, and we know what they stand for. MPN, we call them Egbe Onile, that they are going to build houses massively across the country. They want to eliminate housing problem. That is why in Yoruba land they are called Egbe Onile. Egbe Awolowo, they call it free education. Awolowo Loleche. When it comes to education and healthcare, that is what Awolowo party is known for. So they are based on issues.
I will give you evidence. I will give you practical things that you can do. See, go to your alumni network, the old secondary school, and just sample the opinion of guys there, because you will see that most of those guys there, they are not people that you can buy with money, all those 1,000 and all those stuff. But look at how they divide. They divide along these two major parties that we are talking about. We are even talking of middle class that you cannot even buy now. So now, if my secondary school mate, for example, if we keep debating on APC and PDP, now I don't see why in a free and fair election that if those categories, that's exactly what is going to happen. Exactly. When you see this, my old school people, we debate only APC, PDP. So when is exactly that is going to replicate itself in a major election, so that in a free and fair election that maybe Gani Fawemi party of those the National Conscious Party will go out. No. I don't.
The only difference you see is an improvement in the numbers of these satellite parties. But they're never going to win anything significant. It's still the major parties that you get the major positions from.
I was reading the commentary section. Jafar was saying something.
No, Jafar is a yam head now. Jafar has run away from the
Jafar
screen.
was saying something. We should give us a clue that yes, new party can win. Before 2014, PDP were boasting they're going to rule Nigeria for 60 years. But what happened? 2014, new party emerged.
Which new party?
APC.
With Rotimi Amechi.
Hold on now. APC emerged and kicked them out. So that is what you are going to see in new parties. That is the way new parties will emerge and kick them out. So
can I interject,
now
we are still talking of personality. Bukola Saraki.
Land that point and then let's hear from engineer.
Bukola Saraki. We are talking of Amaechi and those people in PDP.
What have they done so far now? Are you not tired of them now?
Is it not what they've done so far?
Are you not tired of them now? Everybody is tired of them. Everybody are looking for new direction. They're looking for new leadership.
You are talking of emotional eyes to people, but we are talking.
No, I'm not talking emotional. I'm just telling you that those names you are mentioning, everybody is tired of them. People are looking for a new set of leaders. Do you see? Are these people you still want them to continue running that country? I'm asking you a question.
I don't want. I didn't
okay, that is what will make you. That is what will make you vote for new party to take the place.
I didn't want Buhari to continue. Many people complain about Buhari, and behold, Buhari still won in 2019. That's just the way it is.
You see, the bigger parties, they'll present a better campaign. They'll present a better narrative. They will campaign stronger and bigger, and they will tell a better story.
Their campaign doesn't win election for them.
All right.
And those campaigns you are seeing, they are money. They are people that they rent to those campaigns. They are not organic people that come there freely by their free mind. They are people being rented to come. But
no, that's a rally, not a campaign. But sorry, let's hear from engineer. Okay. Engineer was coming. Engineer, let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, one man. Ajale Koko, you said something regarding PDP. They said they will rule the country for 60 years, and all of a sudden, APC took over. And one man just hit the nail straight away. He said Amaechi. The reason why he said Amaechi, remember, is River State money that they pump into Buhari campaign. You understand? And something you need to understand here, that nobody will beat APC or PDP. APC or PDP, they're like husband and wife. Because if you look, most of them, they keep swapping what will I say, swapping club or swapping themselves, in between themselves. APC and PDP, they work together. Regardless, they come out and be making all this chanty thing. If another party should come out to say they're going to defeat APC or PDP, I'm telling you now, APC and PDP will collide together and kick that party out, because they have that power, they have the capacity to control that state. This is who they are, APC and PDP. Then if they kick that party out, then they will continue their fighting. They are husband and wife. It's just like when you're trying to bring peace in between husband and wife, they end up, you'll be shocked that at night they'll become together. And this is what is taking part in Nigerian state. So regardless of anything, I'm telling you now, no party in Nigeria, whether you call it free or fair, that will defeat APC or PDP, because those are just the pillar of that country in terms of anything. Because there's hunger, there's sufferness in that country.
Engineer, they are not pillar. They put themselves there. They put themselves there by looting your resources and making themselves look as if nothing can beat them.
People come out for them.
People did not come out. Go and look at election results. How many people came out to vote for them? all these votes, they are being rigged. Haven't you heard that? Haven't you heard Adeyeye, Senator Adeyeye on TV?
If people didn't come out, that
Hold
means you're giving
on,
them opportunity for them to rig. No.
Engineer, just listen. Engineer Adeyeye said it on Clear TV. He said they don't win election fairly in Nigeria. He said they rig the election. He said whoever can rig better than the other that wins. He was a senator. He said it openly on national TV. You think he doesn't know what they are? He said yes. He said that is the way the game is played.
Yeah, but how did he get to the senator
He
stage
said we rigged the election. If a senator, a former senator can say that, he's telling you that, look, people does not, he said the people's vote does not count. That is what Senator Adeyeye, he said the people's vote does not count. He said it is the rigging that counts. And whoever can rig better, that will win at the end of the day. He said all of them were in the field to rig. And whoever can perfect his rigging better than the other, that carried the day. That is what he said. And you are saying that the party is they are not strong anywhere. They are not strong. Because you see them, they occupy all the place to make them look big. Because they occupy everywhere in Nigeria.
How did the senator get into that seat? That's something you need to know.
What did you say?
I said you're giving a narrative of a senator that he said there's no free and fair. They have to rig it. How did he get into the power to himself?
That is what he told you, that he rigged his way to power. He said that is what
if you can't beat them, you do what? You join them now.
That is not that is what I'm telling you. That is not a free and fair. That is a rigging.
Do you think there will be free and fair election in Nigeria?
Not people's, they didn't get there by people's will, not people's votes that can get them to power, but rigging. It's rigging that got them there.
Koko, I said this to you from the beginning. I said in Nigerian state now, people don't go with what they merit. You understand? We have thousands of graduates. They have that brain, but they are finding it hard to get into work. Why? Because they don't know that connectivity. And the same thing with these people in power. Is he who knows who that will be in that seat. And that's the rigging. Rigging is not all about stealing vote or no, it's all about he who knows who.
Look, you are taking it on a different dimension.
And that's what is going to continue.
You are taking it on a different dimension. Let us limit it.
I'm telling you, it's going to take years.
It cannot take any years. It can't take any years. Let us have free and fair election. Then you will know whether they are strong. Look, there was one in Niger State, maybe a house of federal rep member or one, I think it's federal rep. If you know the way the people in his area chase him, only God save him. They will have massacred him on the street. They said they don't see him. He doesn't come home. He's always in Abuja. And they saw it. They've been waiting for him that anytime this man come into the area, they will massacre him. Only God save him. They will have massacred him on that day. How did he get to? He bribed his way to power. He doesn't attend to anybody. You cannot see if people, if they got to power by people's vote, there's no way they won't be seeing people. But the moment they assume office, they are disconnected completely with the people. They don't see anybody. You cannot see them. You can't have access to them. And you are saying that they were voted for. They rig. That is why they never perform.
We never dispute the fact that they rig. The point is this: rigging sometimes is a major party outdoing the other major party. But when you pitch these major parties against smaller parties, those smaller parties, they cannot compete. For example, when the major party, for example, when we started in 1999, for example, we used to have an Alliance for Democracy in the Southwest. Then Mimiko somehow, at a particular point in time, he sent Alliance for Democracy out of Ondo State and got a Labour Party there. So you can see some kind of that kind of fragmentation like that. But when we are talking of the major party that have like over 60% of the entire voters population, and they have huge resources, there is no way you expect a party maybe with just like 50,000 people now to cover like 18, 20 states when all those people are. It doesn't work like that. I understand the rig, but it's a case of PDP outrigging APC. It's not a case of now PDP.
They are not outrigging Shore or anybody. They are not outrigging Kwakwanso now. They are rigging against each other. APC is rigging against PDP, and PDP is rigging against. Because in a free and fair election, APC could beat PDP, PDP could beat APC, but they cannot afford that. But in the free and fair election, either of them, both of them will beat every other party, because that is where the big political names are.
Exactly. Because these people cover more, for example, now it's just like those days where maybe Ajanekoko with nobody, Oluwo Poroku. For example, see, from the whole of Ekiti Southwest, Ekiti South, all those things, even a young kid that was growing up with nobody, Oluwo Poroku, you just admire that guy, not because he was doing anything spectacular that's so spectacular for you. When you say Oluwo Poroku, but when they brought Adeniyi, the Otumba Adeniyi in 1999, General Adebayo, all those kind of things, or Adebayo and all those kind of things, just for the personality of his father alone, and the fact that he was in AD, Alliance for Democracy, people just voted for him. His father personality and for the father, but when the guy messed up and Fayose was the one giving them water, all those kind of things, doing everything, people just shifted to Fayose. So the local politics is not about, it's not, see, you may be reigning in Abuja, they may know you in Abuja, and you come to my village, maybe like one normal Latana is not going for that council, or just because they are on that street together, they drink power together, all those kind of things, they want to associate with their people, and those are the kind of resources all these major party normally look after. PDP
another good example, Lola, is Senator Adeleke in is it Osun State?
In Osun State.
In Osun State. Look at him now, barely literate, completely useless, but he defeated Oyegun in that election, and then they used his school cert to hound him out of his mandate. Remember when Davido was saying, give him his mandate now? And only because of the name that his elder brother created. It was the personality totally. They voted for their delicate name because that's the name that they know governs them. So what idea does that guy have that anybody will vote for him? It's just the name now.
It's only that Ajalekoko didn't live in a village like me. If you see the election period during the village where people will be cursing themselves, everything they will carry out talking drum, everything they will be the history of the family from the beginning to the end. How someone is a bastard, how this thing. Those are the things they will use to campaign at the local level. So it's more of personality. They will do everything to destroy themselves to vote for their person. So it is. Sometimes, we know that money can influence, but most of the time, it's not because of money. It's just because your person is going there. Your person is going there. Because when you go into politics, that is when you will know the history of your family, the history you never know before. You understand? So that's the way we play our politics. So you can speak good English, all those kind of things. By the time you come to Ekiti, people will just, who is this person? Even if you not be there before, but this guy has never embezzled before. So put him there first and see whether he's not going to embezzle. They are all the same, Jari. See, that is how they will just wave you aside. And as bad as Ekiti politics is, it gets to say people will start a single fist. They start carrying gas just to attack. They say, Mickey Boeng, it's my guy. It's my guy. We are just chatting together. I know. I don't have anything against him.
No, because sometimes if we want to be interlinking it with the comments, then we'll never. But let me go to let me go to engineer and put him the question that I started Ajanekoko off with. Pantami disconnected phone numbers from national electricity grid. So this is Tinubu, of course. So if it happens once, you can say it's a slip of tongue. If it happens twice, you can say it's a bit concerning. But now, anytime he opens his mouth, he just puts his foot in his mouth. Tinubu, the national grid, of course, the national electricity grid has nothing to do with your phone numbers. Completely different organization and bodies. Pantami, telecoms, electricity, power. But he said this at Onekon Stadium that Pantami is disconnecting people's phone numbers by removing it from the national electricity grid. So are we looking at the early signs of are we looking at mid-level dementia with this guy now? Is it crumbling both physically and mentally right in front of the country?
Wow. That's what we call fire on the mountain. Those days in school, they said fire on the mountain, run. Well, Pantami is doing well. He's doing his job. He's doing whatever that pleases him. But something we need to realize, one man, these people have limited time.
No, it's not Pantami, really. It's Tinubu. Tinubu is saying that Pantami... Yeah, so it's nothing to do with Pantami. It's more Tinubu. Anytime he speaks, it sounds confused.
Yeah, but whatever they're doing, see, one man, Tinubu has said this to you. Tinubu is coming out. He went for break, but he's back now. I think the booster shot is getting expired now. So soon, one of these days, they will fly him to UK to come and take triple booster shot. The man is just doing his best. He has everything. He has the money. He has everything to spend. So there's something they always said: if you can't give to God, you give it to what? To Satan. Tinubu is just Tinubu himself. The man is doing his best to see that he's going to come into power. So anything now that is happening, he will come out and say whatever he wants to say, regardless of anything, because you can see it clearly. If vice president is coming out, is one of the problems that Tinubu will be facing now. So things like this, Tinubu will do his best to do whatever he wants to do. Whoever that upset him, he will come out and say it. He don't care.
All right. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a man that he really wants that presidency. So regardless of anything, he's just hoping. He's doing his best. And if you look at it, I give him a bit credit for that. With his age, still fighting for presidency.
How old is he?
Tinubu should be about 80 or 85.
Yes, because people who have known him in politics for decades, they are scratching their heads when he's celebrating his 70th birthday. Because he's round about Bode George's age, and Bode George is in his early 80s. So how is this guy going back in age when the rest of us are, getting older?
I think Tinubu and IBB, they must have like similarity age.
Yes, Tinubu, he was part of the IBB Abiola set now. So he's telling us that he's just turned 70. How is that even a thing?
70K. Let's call a spade now. Is he saying he just seniored Ajale Koko with 10 years?
I don't know, but it's ridiculous. But let me bring Ola in, because I really want to push that point of this guy's mental state. So Ola and Igor too. You are in Nigeria, so if you are still there, Igor, I want to hear from you as well. But Ola, this there's no, you can repackage and rebrand and rebrand. But every single moment that this guy opens his mouth is always cause for alarm for people. So he's gone out to say Pantami disconnected phone numbers from national electricity grid. this is Tinubu. He said this at Odikon Stadium. So it's not even me misquoted. So the concerns about his mental well-being now is just, there's no, we can't get away from it anymore. It's the man. Is he 100% in the head?
I can't believe it. Pantami disconnected.
Pantami is the right name, but the electricity grid. How do you disconnect telephone numbers from the electricity grid? And when they were trying to correct him, he doubled down.
You see, one thing is, Tinubu should know when to call it quits, but at times, whatever someone did in the past, and you still believe you are still there, and you want to mess yourself up, you don't know the right time to quit. Yeah, you know, everything has been going against Tinubu, and he may be under some kind of mental pressure, or maybe it's a sign of dementia. It could be anything, but yet it's not going to accept. So I think, in fairness, the Tinubu we used to know is no longer the same Tinubu.
Exactly.
I think the age has caught up with him, and he just need to accept that reality. But you know, selfishness of a politician will still not let them understand the position they are. You know, look at Ajimobi, for example. Now, I didn't even know that Ajimobi was as old as it was that time, constituted authority. And you will see the way they behave. They behave as if they are young, and tomorrow we always be there for them. So why am I saying this thing? I think Tinubu is everything is pointing to the fact that he's older than his age, and the more people are trying to repackage him truly, the more he keeps betraying those people that are trying to repackage him. At least when you are committing this blunder consistently, then it means that something is actually wrong somewhere. So I think for Pantami to be disconnecting.
Pantami is disconnecting phone number from national electricity grid. So you know, as much as I like the guy for his bombasticness and his brevity and just his bloody-mindedness, you cannot escape the fact that this is a guy that is crumbling mentally.
I'm trying to be careful with Tinubu before, but I think now I can just join people and say this guy is just too old and age is telling on him.
And they say his lifestyle as well is because they say he used to have all these habits with drugs and alcohol. But engineer, you wanted to say?
Yeah, the injection is expiring due to the hot weather in that country, Nigeria. So soon, like I said, honestly, in a month's time, he will definitely come back and take another shot, and this shot is going to be like a kind of triple shot. I think one shot is not that enough. You know, the last one he took is double shot. So I think it's expiring now, and he needs to come back. So at least 1 month you live close to London, so you can still pave a way for him to come and take triple shot.
Triple shot. Boris won't let him out now. Boris will send him to Rwanda. Did you hear Theresa May come out to oppose that?
They're all the same. They're all the same. They're all the same. Because in the House of Parliament in Birmingham here, they sent an invitation for people to come. Yeah, to just come and speak against the government.
Do you think they are going to reverse that policy? Because
they have no choice. Rather, they have no choice. They will do that. You see, one man, when it comes to politics, these people, they just want to cover up their sin, what they did in the number 10 during the pandemic lockdown.
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, they just want to cover that sin. Now they just divert people's mindset to say, oh, if these people come, they will send them back to Rwanda. But remember, it's the same government that says if anyone have a relative in Ukraine, you can apply for them to come and live in United Kingdom, and government will be giving you £350 every month. So is it the same government now that they're saying all refugees now should go to the Rwanda? So there's something fishy, something dodgy is taking place. But anyway, that's UK government for you. Let's come back to our own.
All right. Let's come back to Tinubu. And
so that we are talking about. For example, if you mention Obasanjo today, you can his old his old student, those people that were his mates at Baptist, for example, you will know all those people. Those people that they were in the military together, you will know all those people. Who are the secondary schoolmates or grammar schoolmates? Those people that attended school with Tinubu.
Yes, it's contemporaries. This is the thing.
So why is everything about Tinubu look somehow shady? So how come that nobody can know? If Uncle Alex cannot know, and many people outside there, like what's the name of this guy that activist that died, that married this lawyer that died recently due to COVID? If those guys could not know where Tinubu went. If those
it's amazing how mysterious he is, having been in the frontline politics for so long.
Exactly. So something is so at least let this guy just show us where the school he went to and those people they were together and let them come out. For example, nobody needed to say now. Okay, when you mention Obasanjo, then you will know that Abiola, they were all colleagues. They know themselves. Fela, they know themselves. Who are those people that know?
Yeah, but it's not down to him to bring them out, though. Surely we know he went to school, so it's at least primary and secondary. Yeah.
If Obasanjo wanted to mess up those days, all those Beko family, all those people, they say that guy no notebook. Even those things are lie, but at least they can say, no, when we're in school, this guy is one of the dullest. So at least you will see someone. But we've never seen.
But it's not up to him, though. I mean, he went to school now. At least he went to primary and secondary school, certainly in Lagos.
One man.
Yeah.
Some time ago, I think they challenged. There was a challenge on Buhari. What happened? We saw some of his classmates that they are Oyinbo people, they are old people. They come out to testify that they attend the same school. So what do you think is going to happen if you challenge Tinubu? Is the same thing that's going to happen? You will find some Oyinbo people from other countries, they will come and testify that Tinubu, yes, he's one of
the one thing that we cannot dispute is that he went to primary and secondary school. At least I think that much we can concede. And he went to primary and secondary school, certainly in Nigeria. So there must be people, and even if he's in his 80s or whatever, there must be his contemporaries out there. So the fact that they've not come out is not really anything to do with Tinubu now, because if they wanted to come out, they can and speak about their time with him in school.
Or maybe he went to a grammar school where it's just one-on-one with teacher. So
yeah. The other thing that just when we were talking, I was having the thought that are his handlers doing a poor job, because seeing the way he is and seeing how he makes all these gaffes, all these faux pas whenever he speaks, should they be managing look at the way they managed Buhari both in 2014, 15 and 2019. He barely said a word in public, and the words that he said in public, we were just alarmed. He only ever spoke at the Kadir Ahmed interview, and they managed him tightly to manage him into Aso Rock. So is Tinubu speaking too much? And should his handlers be able to shut him down somewhat?
One man, this is what is taking place. You see, I said a word, if you can't beat them, you join them. These people, they know that whatever this man is saying is completely out of book. But they are just there to make their own money. You understand? They are just there to make their own money. They don't care. They can only encourage him. They will guide him. Say this, don't say more than this. You understand? Those are the kind of play they play. They knew that this guy has no capacity, has no idea what he's saying. But it's just, okay, yeah, sir, that would be nice for you. Go for it. Go and do it. They're just after their money.
No, I think maybe it's more than that. I think because the people that have always been his handlers and the people that have always handled that end of politics, there are names like Aregbesola, names like Rotimi Amechi, you know, all these really seasoned players. So with Aregbesola fighting him, with Fashola distancing from him, and Rotimi Amechi opposing him, Yemi Osinbajo opposing him, those are the people that could have managed this campaign. So with those people not available to him, the crop of people that he has now garnered, who are the people managing him? We only see Sanwo-Olu next to him. What does he know? Sanwo-Olu is not really the brightest person that you can offer. So go on.
You mentioned all these names. These names you mentioned, all of them, they are the worst criminals that we have in Nigeria.
No, it's not the criminality, but their expertise in managing. They managed Buhari into power now. They managed Tinubu's power in Lagos State. So that's the steel behind him, but they are not available to him now.
If you look, who is there for Tinubu? It's just one person, isn't it? And the person that is there for Tinubu, that remember, he has a mental problem too. If you check his record clearly, he has a mental problem.
Tinubu?
No, Sanwo-Olu.
All right. Yeah, no, yes. According to Ambode, he was in Arrow.
He has a mental medical record. So who do you think is gonna come out for Tinubu? People knows. The people in power, they know that yes, something is not right with the man. But what can they do? They can only say, well, go for it. They will stay behind and tell him to just carry on doing what you're doing. We'll be behind you. I will support you.
No, those are yes men. I think he probably needs a better quality because he has the potential to seize the presidency. So I don't know, man. But the campaign, it's a real disappointment so far. All these gaffes that he makes and all these photo opportunities that goes awry and all of these own goals that they keep on scoring. You know, now I think it's essentially just managing his own affairs and there's nobody to pull him apart, pull him back, not pull him apart, but pull him back and say, no, caution that, follow this direction. Maybe he doesn't trust them. And if they are not brave enough to approach him, then that tells you that they're not sufficient enough of the quality. So
yeah, but this is why you see, I said this 2 or 3 days ago. This is the best opportunity for Tinubu to just let Osinbajo get into that seat and tackle with PDP. But if Tinubu said he's not going to give him that space, imagine Osinbajo said he said he's coming out for presidency. Look at how they start lambasting his name. Look at how they start saying things about his name. He's a betrayer. He's Judas. He's this. He's blah, 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 blah. So this is Tinubu for you. But look at, for him to come out again and start talking off point. What does that tell you? Age is kicking in. Mentally, he's not okay. He's not fit. You know, physically, he's not fit. Is it till when he's giving speech and fall and collapse? That's when he will decide to give up.
If he does collapse, would that mark that final nail in the coffin? Whether by mistake or by failing health, if he collapses publicly, if he falls.
If he falls, one man, like I said to you, these people that are guiding him, telling him to go, they're gingering him. Remember, they are after their money. I said this, and I'll repeat this. They're after their money. They will say, oh, maybe they put something slippery for him to fall down. They will still ginger him to go back because they want their money to stop flowing.
Oh, all right. Man. Yeah. Are you driving? Are you driving?
How did you know? Are you psychic?
No, I can hear the whoosh. Yeah, I know you're. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
No, yeah, but I just want to buttress engineer's point a little bit. Did you ever see the speech when he gave his speech after he canceled his little celebration post the terrorist attack?
I didn't see the speech, but I read it. But yeah, carry on.
When he was giving, if you can find it, it'll be interesting. When he was giving the speech, he actually forgot part of what he was trying to say, and Sanwo-Olu had to step in to help finish his sentences. You know, and it was not good optics at all. It was very disturbing. So,
but do you think it's been badly managed? Is my question. Do you think it's been badly managed by the people who are his handlers?
You know what they say, right? When people get older, they dig in deeper into their habits. They don't change at an old age. So, if a man was stubborn and is used to being the decision maker, when he gets older and is very influential like Tinubu is, I don't really see anyone trying to tell him what to do. So I don't see it as a function of him being badly managed. I see it as a function of who's going to tell him to do this and make him do it. He's going to do exactly what he wants to do. And a man like that has been in charge for so long, you know, he's probably in a position where he feels that, you know, if I want to speak, I will speak. Nobody's going to tell me when to speak.
Do you think he should just step down before he embarrasses himself? Because I think it's that one more statement or one more gaffe from total humiliation.
I think you're right. I think, look, sometimes you have to save your legacy. People can credit Tinubu now with being a transformative factor in Lagos, you know, ushering in the likes of Fashola, who made a difference. You know, some people even argue Ambode made a difference. But for him to continue the way he's going, I don't see this whole movie ending well for him. I'm sorry,
no, it's looking very bad.
Yeah, it seems, and honestly, I pray he doesn't get that seat, because if they think the pressure is bad now, imagine if he becomes president. You know, you almost have to ask yourself, anyone that wants to get this presidency, you need to examine their heads, because who wants to take a job that is in the worst possible condition you can possibly imagine? You know, everything is burning around you, insecurity, unemployment, bad economy, you know, out of school children, IPOP, Omodua, all kinds of madness all over the place. And you want to take that job, you need to get your head examined. And by the way, Tinubu is not a spring chicken. So he really needs to get his head examined. He will just look bad. I think he will look bad. He's already looking bad as it is, you know, and you now take it, he now starts, let's say he starts camping down on insurgency, and people in the north are like, oh, this guy is a southerner, he's killing northerners, yeah, this and that. Then my people in the south start their madness about Tinubu trying to steal all the oil. And then the Igbos are like, oh, he wants to crush IPOP, there's a problem. It will get worse. How is he going to come out on stage and give speeches and assure the public? Tinubu is not a good speaker. He's not.
No, so it's worse than Buhari, which is saying something. Imagine somebody that's a worse public speaker than MALLAM Buhari.
Honestly, there's something engineer said, you know, about, you know, with the Tinubu Osibanjo competition and the impact on the Yoruba ethnicity. I think it's a valid point. I think prominent Yorubas should, you know, in a diplomatic way, try to help him understand that maybe it's in the best interest of the Southwest to champion someone like an Osibanjo to go forward. Because, you know, if they fight publicly, first of all, it will look bad. Then second of all, if somehow Tinubu comes out on top in his current condition, it will also be a stain on the Southwest. So, you know, it's a very dicey thing. You know, again, I said engineer made good points. The people that are supporting him are strictly doing it for economic reasons.
When has engineer ever made a good point? Is this a
he's a yam head. Engineer is a yam head.
That Tinubu is already bad record for Yoruba, so it's not as if maybe it's going to be. See, if he like himself, all this, I call it false legacy. I think he should protect it now before people start extraying it, because by the time we start digging, are we saying this guy really has some kind of legacy we can be proud of? Because the legacy now, for example, is on record. Can you tell me what Jan Conde stole, for example? Can you just tell me what the like of what?
Ola, the thing is this, you're comparing, to me, from my perspective, people like Jakonde, Awolowo in the Southwest, those are not your average type of politicians. To me, you can't classify them even on the same level. Those are icons. They don't even need to talk about their legacy. It was evident for everyone to see. You understand? I think for Tinubu, they can do the spin a little, and you can spin it. You can spin it and say, okay, you can point to some things he did. Of course, he's going to have detractors, but you can do the spin, and I think that spin can come out in his favor if he just kind of goes into retirement right now. I'll give you an example: the Buhari case. If Buhari never ran for this office, people could have said, Buhari.
If Buhari had come in, he would have finished. He would have stopped the
banditry.
He would have locked all the corrupt politicians in jail. He would have, his legacy is dead now, so he is now the worst that we have ever experienced.
If Buhari never ran for office, people would have said, I wish Buhari had won that election. This Jonathan is useless. Buhari would have come in, would have dealt with Boko Haram. Nigeria would be in peace right now. He would have put discipline, would have kicked out corruption. They would have lived in La La Land, and Buhari will go into the sunset. But unfortunately for him, he took this job that he wasn't ready for. He has been exposed.
He was too old and too ill by the time he took over.
Yes. So some things are better if you don't take them. If you don't take them.
I always say Nigeria is too strong. It's a big country. If you don't have that mentally brain, you can't handle it. Because
you see, when Obasanjo was there the other time, when it just started, by the time they on this presidential media chat, you see how he used to talk. He was extremely careful that guy may not even speak more than 10 words in a minute when he was there. So it's telling you how difficult, because even despite that, little thing like this, people will just mount pressure on him, a lot of things. So on this Tinubu, right? To me, Tinubu, like you said, nobody want to advise Tinubu, because Tinubu has seen himself as all in all. The person that was even telling about that, you see how we normally respect our traditional leaders now. He told about that Oba is not as rich as him, that we didn't steal the money for him to be. So the way this guy, to me, I think I'm beginning to think that Tinubu is even overrated and is about to demystify. So that's just the way I see it, because a good leader knows the right time to quit and allow someone that is better.
Do you think his ambition will make it to the primaries?
It all depends. If the power that be, because so there are some the power that be that run behind, because sometimes what we are just seeing outside is just on the surface, but deep down, those people that are real kingmakers, they must have done their calculations. Those people these are the people we wanted, we want, right? So if those people think Tinubu is going to be some kind of a too dangerous for them.
No, I wasn't even I was thinking about more his public presentations, all these things that we're saying. The speculation about his health is a constant gaffes, which is no longer now slip of tongue. Because a lot of people, they've given him so many opportunities to say it's a slip of tongue, it was a moment in time, but it's happening with so much frequency now that it is almost impossible for you to not say that it's a mental debilitation of some form. But there's still about 5 to 6 weeks to their primaries, and he's still out there campaigning, and he will again and again make all these unguarded comments that leads to speculation about his well-being. So I'm saying, will this unguarded comments, these public faux pas, these gaffes, this error in judgment and pronouncement, will all of that just lead to the point that the thing will just falter and dissipate, even without the power that be just removing him? Will he implode on himself for reasons of ill health?
You know, Nigeria, when it comes to Nigerian politics, we can never trust what can happen. Assuming nothing is against Buhari, Tinubu, you see, our politician, anybody that can carry money, that's the president go follow. You see, it will make it there because Buhari was worse than Tinubu. You know,
but
the
Buhari
only
was
difference
not
between
presenting publicly in the way
exactly.
So that's
they
what I'm
asked
saying.
him to keep quiet. You know, when he started saying West Germany, when he started saying I will make $1, they just asked him to keep quiet, not to talk. So some people took over. So, but this one, they are allowing Tinubu just to keep messing himself up. Two things is at play. Number one, because they know that if they ask him to keep quiet, he may think someone is trying to be rude to him. And, you know, just because of his nature, Jagaban, you know, he has made himself, nobody that you can approach because he has made himself. He has made himself.
But he prides himself as being a listener.
That is what he prides himself at, right? But it depends on the circumstance. For example, now when the party members say they didn't want Ambody, now he asked Ambody to go. Not at that level, but there are some kind of thing you will tell him that this guy, I think, will never listen. Like telling him now about his presidential ambition, let us do this talking for you, all those kind of things. I believe some people might have tried that thing, and maybe he didn't listen to them and believe that I will push it myself. Otherwise, he can easily leave this job for those people that understand PR, that can even do the thing better than him. But it seems like this guy wants to be out himself and be doing everything.
Yeah, but does he have the people that understand PR is the question, because I'm questioning how his media is being. Look at the way when did you last hear Atiku speak publicly?
Atiku, you see, whenever Atiku speak on economy, for example, I know it's Soludo. Immediately, I know this is Soludo because I know that
that's not even what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the media handling of their campaign. I'm not talking that Atiku is not sharp, but what I'm saying is Atiku is presenting more in pictorial form than in verbiage, but Tinubu is presenting more frontally in verbiage than pictorially. And because of his debilitation mentally, he should be presenting pictorially than in verbiage, because verbally he always falls short. You know, even Atiku, and by the way, Atiku is 78, is 78, which tells you there's a debilitation there too, because it's inevitable that there will be debilitation, and that debilitation is being hidden away behind pictures and optics. You know, but so they're managing his campaign that way, but Tinubu is frontally coming out to speak, and he opens his mouth and then he tells just the most ludicrous statement that then questions his mental state of being. Do you understand where I'm going?
I got your point. You see that's the gap between Atiku and Tinubu. Even when Atiku was not as this old, Atiku is the person that knows how to arrange team, that will bring whatever he wants to, and whatever the team will give him will be what he is going to present. Unlike Tinubu has always been like my own man. So that's the two difference between them. Even because why did I say this thing? If you leave Atiku without his team, he too can misjam very well, in an aggressive way. You know, Atiku can threaten and do this, but whenever he sees those caution him and maybe bring that thing, you now see him bringing the different type of graphic, economic policy, how to tackle this. And that means his team as well. But one-on-one with Atiku, without his team around him, for example, honestly, Atiku may even perform worse than Tinubu in this thing. So I would say Atiku is a person that understands his limits, and we allow those people that are professional to handle those things. Can Tinubu get some professional?
Atiku interviews very well, though. He interviews extremely well.
Yeah, he interviewed extremely well, but was prepared for that interview. That's just the difference. Like I said now, just like I said now, there are some
But Tinubu will never interview well, prepared or not. It just doesn't have,
That's exactly, that's the problem. He has enough. He has all the resources to hire those people that are professionals that can do this job for him. But as he just want to be who he is. He just want to be natural with himself and do his thing himself. That's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but that's the way I see Tinubu. So to me, if he wants to listen, the best bet is if we see campaign, allow those people that can do things. They see, you know the way they package Buhari now. Let them package him. Even though I'm not saying he should win, no, but let them package him instead of going around and be messing. Because maybe this one, maybe we've not even seen anything now. Maybe until the day of the primaries, maybe that's where we, maybe that is where we see whether Nigeria is expired. Maybe it's going to give us a lot of things that we've not understood. Because your phone is on the national grid.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite concerning. That's just the thing. And there's a real because it would be essentially Buhari again, wouldn't it? Just from the little snippets that we've gotten from this guy, anytime he's unguarded and he speaks as he thinks. So that's Buhari, isn't it? Mentally debilitated, stubborn that he's still as he was when he no longer is, and just hurtling through with just we're in trouble, man. We're in trouble.
It's a big challenge, and I think this is a time where Nigerians should actually Nigerians should take their country back, really, because the way it is that I think we are at the avalanche now. That anyhow, I see hope for Nigeria going forward, because whether Jagaban or whether Atiku, everything they are doing now, I think that they are at the tail end of their dominance.
Yes, so, the game is up for one of them, or even both of them. Hopefully,
both of them. I think both of them, and even some and even some people that we may not even know too. Even they may be younger. I think the game is off for many of them. So I think Nigeria will be better. Nigeria will be better after them. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, but when it's after them is the question, because if one of them seizes power, so after them is another 8 years from now.
They are not likely to seize power, because one man, a lot is going on in that country. The problem is that we have media that will not cover all those stuff. For example, like Ajale Koko also was accusing the major media in the country when they released Wole, when they got a very good judgment. Did you see them do anything? No. There are a lot of suits. For example, when I told you about the suit filed against the 1999 constitution that they wanted to use to stop election in the state and Ondo and Osun State, if they manage to win just one of that, for example, is going. We are talking of federal court. If they say, okay, because 1999 constitution is a fraudulent document, okay, there will be no election in Ekiti State. So that means automatically that will go federal, because it's the federal high court. So a lot, so many legal challenges against this. And so all these things they are all these things they are all those people that are campaigning. Like,
I'm not sure that any of those legal challenges will amount to anything significant, because
we can never say, because two things. Look at it, one man. Let's assume that if by May, for example, Oshibanjo, for example, won that ticket, do you think Tinubu will relax? He won't relax. All of a sudden, he will find some kind of comfort in the midst of the enemy. Anything that can go against is a major rival. So that is all. So some of these people that are out now, once they lose, the game will change. So all those people that are supposed to maybe mount pressure,
the game will change only if two people lose. The game really will change only if one person lose. If Tinubu doesn't get the ticket, then he might go rogue. But if Atiku doesn't get the ticket in our PDP, I suspect he will just surrender it and go back to Dubai. But if anybody else does not get the ticket in APC, I don't think anything will happen. If Osinbajo doesn't get the ticket, nothing will happen. Or Korota, the rest of them, nothing will happen. But if Tinubu does not get the ticket, there's a possibility he might go rogue. So that's the only thing that can dabaru anything if they don't get if somebody doesn't get the ticket. It's only a Tinubu narrative.
Exactly. I agree with you on that, Tinubu, because I see Tinubu can, even before Tinubu will even go rogue, you will see all these Agbero on the street that, they will cause a lot of mayhem. Now, and then Atiku too, I can't put it beyond Atiku because, the only thing that cautioned Atiku in 2015 was just because of Buhari. If I had been another candidate, this same Atiku, I cannot trust what he can do because
there's nothing he can do. He doesn't command anything. He doesn't have who will he throw onto the streets? He doesn't have what will happen if Atiku doesn't get the PDP ticket?
Honestly, I don't know, but I can't put anything beyond them. I can't. I can't put anything beyond because these people they are political actors, and we may try to think, we may try to dilute their influence, but when they take that influence to the negative aspect, we can never underrate these people until we see them in action. So to me, if these guys they are on do or die mission, so it's going to be interesting. So it's just May. Let's see. Let's just be prayerful and see what is going to happen a month from now. But the only thing is, I am sure that if Tinubu will not win that primary of APC, oh my goodness, even I will start praying from here because I don't. Even if Tinubu,
what's the worst he can do? He will move his political machines to another space. That's the worst he can do.
Yeah, if he moves his political machine to another space, this guy is experienced enough to know that once things like that is against him, he knows that he has lost it. Because see, if he will not win APC ticket, for example, he will get the signal clearly that there's no way he's going to win the general election. Yes. This one is different from when Obasanjo wanted to capture Lagos. In this one, we are talking of the federal, for example, and his influence can only be guaranteed only in Lagos. His influence is not guaranteed in Kano, it's not guaranteed in Kaduna or somewhere else. So he knows. So even if he shift that his influence, it will still amount to nothing. So that is why I think that his influence might go negative, and because of strategy.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Go negative? Like I said, what's the worst he can do?
Well, honestly, I can't imagine it, but I just have that feeling that
if you have the feeling, then you can speculate to it, because the worst he can do is to move whatever political influence that he does have to oppose the government and move it, maybe work with Atiku. That's probably the worst that he can do. There's nothing else that he can do other than to try and undermine the government. That's just nothing else he can do. And he might not succeed because the government, they don't really care. Buhari they will rig their candidate back in, but then that candidate will then punish Tinubu after. So there's really nothing he can do.
When Adedibu talk will cause problem in Ibadan those days when all those some Adedibu, by the time they will start the talkery where all those innocent people we have to be injured, all those kind of things. So you can just figure that one out with MC Oluoma and Agbero in Lagos.
No, I don't think you can. He can. They can pick them up. It's been allowed to use MC Oluoma and all these people only because he uses them to the party's benefit. It would not be allowed to use them against the party.
Okay, but let's see. But
yes,
I think you mentioned it right that the worst he can do is to move his political machine to another party and defeat APC and and kick APC out of power. That is the only thing he can do to restore or to redeem his image. because if we couldn't get the ticket, that's going to be a very big shame to him, a big blow to his political career. So they will cry foul. They will say, oh, they rig us. And for him to redeem his image, he have to do something strategically to halt APC so that, it can redeem his image. Say, yes, look, it's when Tinubu pull out. Tinubu is the strength of APC. When he pull out, APC lost. When he was with them, yeah, they won election. So that is the only thing he can do strategically to redeem his image, because the noise, they are make too much noise. The media have shouted too loud about him, as if is the kingmaker, is the most powerful aspirant in APC. So if he couldn't get it, it's going to be a big blow to his.
Do you think he can survive an onslaught? Do you think he can survive an onslaught from Lai Mohammed?
Lai Mohammed will not attack him. They will go together.
Is he Lai Mohammed's man?
Oh, yeah. Lai Mohammed is a Tinubu man. You don't know.
Those are the people that team up to destroy Jonathan. So
yeah. Lai Mohammed is a strong Tinubu man. Oh. They will go together. The only thing APC can do is to conduct a free and fair primary. If they do mago, they will move out. There's no way they will even do it now. Particularly if Buhari put his weight behind one candidate, another candidate other than Tinubu, Tinubu people will cry foul.
It's easier and cleaner for them to give it to Tinubu, because if Tinubu wins it, even everybody that is contesting, they will fall in line behind him. But if he doesn't win it, there will be hell. There will be hell to pay. If Osibanjo doesn't win it, he will just wait like a week or two and then go and take that public photo with Tinubu and raise his hands and say, no.
That's it, and everything will end there.
And then Aregbesola, they will all line up behind him. Even they would line, maybe it'll be 2 rows back, but they will all line up behind him. But if Osibanjo wins it, Tinubu is not lining up behind anybody.
But the only thing they can do,
it's cleaner for them to give it to him.
But the only thing they can do is to disgrace him out of political scene or show to Nigerians that he doesn't have that strength as people have been chanting. Is to conduct a free and fair election, and the president does not declare his support to anybody. Everybody's seen it clear that he's not backing anybody, and they defeat Tinubu. That would be a big blow to him. That would be a big setback to him. So, but if Buhari should support any other person, and at the end of the day, Tinubu couldn't get the ticket, oh man, they will said, okay, they rig it, they did everything. And Yoruba people with their sentiments, they will say, oh, look at, we have been supporting him. We are the one that make him the president. Oh, we are not going to agree. Oh, we not go agree.
If Buhari doesn't...
then that will aggravate that voice, that northerner voice will rise to the high heaven, and then they will say, and then Tinubu will now be in a very strong position to now move to another party, do something to defeat, to halt APC, so that he can redeem his image that, hey, look at me. When we didn't support them this time around, yes, they couldn't win. So
if Buhari supports any other person other than Tinubu, do you think the Yorubas would react against Buhari, even the people that don't necessarily like Tinubu? Of course, there'll be people like Bode George that will be very quick to mock. But in generality, do you think the Yorubas will react against Buhari? Because they've seen the journey of Tinubu with Buhari, and they've seen broadly what Tinubu has done for Buhari. And everybody has the broad understanding that they have, whether they have the arrangement or not, or they broadly the general sentiment is that they seem to have an arrangement where Buhari would go to move Goodluck Jonathan out, serve his tenure, and then Tinubu will take over. So would they see it as Buhari reneging on an agreement, and would that solidify somewhat the lack of the trust that they have in him already? And would that lead to a resentment against Buhari and then subsequently whoever he endorses?
Yeah, there's going to be resentment against Buhari now. They will call Buhari a betrayer. They will call him tax, but they will say that Tinubu has sacrificed so much for him. They will say a lot of things that look at how Tinubu defended him, look at how Tinubu, stand with him, and look at what he has done to Tinubu. And they will inject some propaganda into it that they don't want Yoruba to be there.
Even if he backs Osinbajo, they will not accept him as a
they will say,
Yoruba man.
Osinbajo is a betrayer too. That it's just they know that he's weak. He cannot do anything. I mean, they did the same thing. Yoruba people will carry that propaganda and it will hit ground in Yoruba land. They did it against Obasanjo. That Obasanjo is a betrayer. Eru Awusani they just impose it on us. We cannot agree. He cannot do anything. That is why Obasanjo couldn't win any state in Yoruba land. So they will do it again. APC will not win in Yoruba land. And that will be the message to send to APC that yes, you cannot treat us anyhow. And if APC couldn't win Yoruba land, they can't win presidency. They cannot, because I'm sure they cannot win. They cannot win East, and they can't win South. So how are they going to win? They can't win. There's no way they win presidency. So that will be a big blow to APC as well. And there's no way they want to rig the election. Are they going to say they win all the northern states? It's not possible. That will be a big. I mean, the other party, PDP or the rest of the party, will stand up against APC rigging, because that rigging will be too open. Everybody will see it. International community will see. Everybody will see it, and they will push against it. And the way it is in APC now is to let there be level playing field during their primary. And according to calculation that we treated there a day before yesterday, the report was telling us that Tinubu have more delegates, around the country than any other person. That could change. And that might not be true. But, with all this loud noise and propaganda they've been carrying, and Tinubu wearing Agbara everywhere with large entourage, going to all the palaces in Yoruba land, all the mayors and everywhere with large entourage. He already positioned himself as the number one aspirant among them all. He overshadowed everybody already as of today. So if he couldn't get the ticket, then a lot of people in Yoruba land will assume that they rig it against him, and they will not vote for APC. They will not vote. I know my people very well. They won't vote for APC. They will sentiment.
Because the one thing the Yorubas detest more than anything else is ote. They detest ote, which is treachery. They detest treachery, ote. They hate it.
When you're lotte,
it's worse than being a caller, and it's worse than an armed robber. A treacherous person, the Yorubas consider them worse than an armed robber.
You're right, one man. So it's we don't know what's going to happen. We just have to keep watching, and it is good. The Dabaru themselves, let them Dabaru themselves. They know it's just the power for supremacy is what is killing them, and it will consume them. Buhari wouldn't want any other person to be there that he won't be able to control. If not even Buhari, the Buhari group, the CPC, wouldn't want somebody there that will not guarantee the interests of CPC in the new government, APC government. So this is the problem. So
you know there are so many subplots within the APC because even within the narrowness of the splits along north-south divide, even in the regional spaces, there's still subplots playing. You know those CPC groupings, within that CPC grouping, there's still a core cabal that holds all the power space within the Buhari administration. So they want to now hold that sparse space and carry it into the APC so that when Buhari leaves, they still hold the party, which then still gives them the hold. People outside, we're talking about people like Mia Malabone, we're talking about people like Ibrahim, Malame, we're talking about the Gambari, we're talking about all those sorts of people. So they are core, cabals who want to use the last vestige of Buhari's power to seize completely the APC, so that when Buhari leaves, they have the party and they still hold power.
They still hold,
Outside of those are elements like El Rufai, who considers himself to be powerful, but is not an inside power broker. Ganduje is powerful, but not an inside power broker. But no guy, Zulum, he's not an inside power broker. So even within that northern space, there's still, they want to break them. We saw it now when they tried to move Buni out, who they knew was a cabal man. And the person that forced that space was El Rufai. So there's so many fights. It's just subplots and subplots, and it's a real it's a killer fest, that APC. They're just knives, knives drawn everywhere.
One man, don't forget. Don't forget, we have been talking about APC for that long. We forgot to talk about our hope.
Oh yeah, so Uzodinma now, he has resolved the unknown gunmen phenomenon in the southeast. So in those old Roman warriors type of thing that you watch when you had dun 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 dun, when they chop their head off, and then so it's taking 2 heads now to present to Buhari as the commanders of the unknown gunmen. So Uzodinma then, acting the policeman and effecting the capture of unknown gunmen. So what are you making of this guy who is claiming that he has succeeded where the Nigerian police failed?
That guy, one man, I think if that guy leaves it, I don't see him going back to that state to even have anything, because I think the people of that state will ban him. Even the animals in that state, they will definitely ban this man. He
will move in with Wike. We go to River State. we go and sleep in your house in River, engineer.
I'm telling you, this guy is the level of his loyalty to Buhari and co. This is quite shocking, honestly. It's quite shocking. And the guy is too good. He's very, very faithful, obedient servant. Imagine that kind of statement coming out to say that he captured the guy.
The thing with Uzodinma, he's been the governor of Imo State for going on a few years now, but there's still something within me that doesn't quite see him as a governor. I'm almost waiting for somebody to come and tap him on the shoulder and say, okay, go. You have. I'm still expecting somebody to ask him to leave, but of course it's not going to happen. But it's the most ridiculous yet.
Unbelievable. The guy. I wonder how can I describe this man? Honestly, people who put you in that seat, they are not genuine people, and you end up start fighting your own people. It's only in Nigeria that you see all this thing happening. A governor is fighting his own people. Honestly, to the stage That guy, oh man, that guy, honestly, I keep saying this. If that guy finishes tenure, I don't see him going back to that state to go and settle his, because people will look for him, will hunt him. They will definitely hunt him. That guy has nothing to offer in that state. Nothing, completely nothing. Huh? It's sad. It's really sad.
All right. It looks as though the APC have chosen to adopt the indirect primaries, almost certainly. The announcement to be made round about Wednesday. What's today? Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Within a couple of days, they should announce it. 2023, APC moves to adopt indirect primaries. So this is something that's just now come out. Indications emerged Tuesday night in Abuja that Senator Abdullahi Adamu-led National Working Committee of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC would propose the indirect primary method at Wednesday's meeting of the National Executive Committee, NEC. Correspondents gathered that most members of the NEC have already bought into the idea and may just vote for the method to be adopted. The NWC had met for several hours on Tuesday to deliberate on several issues, including the timetable for the general election primaries. Correspondents had reported that the meeting also considered the cost of nomination and expression of interest forms for all elective offices in the coming election. So there it is. The NEC is the highest decision-making organ of the party. All our decisions at the NWC meeting of last week and that of today, Tuesday, will be presented to the NEC for approval tomorrow, Wednesday. This will form the main agenda for the meeting. We have made our recommendations, and it is for the NEC to approve the various costs pegged to various positions. Mind you, the NWC has approved free nomination forms for all female aspirants, irrespective of the position they want to contest, a party source said. On the mode of the primaries, he said Article 23 and 4 of the APC Constitution 2022 as amended is clear on the mode of primary to be used at our congresses and convention. But for the primaries for the 2023 elections, we have recommended an indirect mode of election. This also will be presented to the NEC for ratification. The youth wing of the party would also present its earlier adopted position, calling on the party to grant a 50% waiver to youth contestants. So there it is right there, a lot to unpick. So free nomination forms for all female aspirants, irrespective of the position. So maybe, but what about people like maybe Tinubu should start cross-dressing or something like that is the thing. But indirect primaries is really the big thing that is emerging from this meeting, and pegging the cost of the nomination of the nomination forms and expression of interest forms. So let me go to Ola with that one. I'm not sure if Ola is still there. Ola, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So I want you to speak on that a little bit. The indirect primary has been adopted by the APC. So that essentially means that it is the delegates that are going to decide who the flag bearer will be. 7,800 of them, that is the number of delegates in the APC. So who do you think this mode of primaries favor?
I think it's going to favor whosoever can carry the highest cash, and whosoever the power that I don't. We then making West Ajali, maybe we even know this thing better than myself, because the way I look at it is that indirect primary is everybody will just try to, the way I feel, everybody will just try to, in terms of They will just try to outdo one another in terms of.
Do you wish you were a delegate right now?
I'm not talking like Tinubu now. No, I don't just know. I to be honest, I don't know how it's going to play out in reality, because we know that this thing is going to be like money politics. So, and if they reduce the number of delegates, for example, I think maybe it's going to give them chance to, to influence the way they move. But to me, I don't really know how it's going to play out. I just have to be honest. I don't know.
All right, thank you. Is Igor still there? Let me just make sure who is still here, so I know who we have on the screen. So, Igor, are you still there? No, I don't think we have Igor. So Igor, thank you. And Aizon, is Aizon still there? Aizon, are you still there?
Yeah, I am.
All right, brilliant. Do you have any thoughts on that space that Ola was just speaking to, the direct, indirect primaries, the mode of election now being adopted by the APC?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to predict what the outcome. I was listening to what you were reading about the, I guess, the preferential or the benefits to female candidates, and which I think is just window dressing, in my opinion. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, how many female candidates do they really have in that party? Even at any level, do they even support them to run at a respectable level? How are they going to conduct it? So I have no idea why they're even putting that in. The odds of there's not one female candidate.
Does that not open a window? Does that not open a window?
No, I don't think it's enough. That alone is the incentive that will open a window to female candidates, the ability to purchase free
of charge.
Free of charge, yeah. I mean, there are other factors involved outside of just purchasing your what was the term you used again? The
nomination form.
Nomination form, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, right? So a female candidate has to be supported by the party. The female candidate has to come out. They have to champion her. She has to be, outside of paying for the nomination form, there are other fees involved. She would have to have held another position at a level in government that is respectable, that the party would have to back her up. There are so many other factors involved that a lot of female candidates don't even rise to that level alone. Much less you now say, oh, you have a free nomination card and you can come in. It's window dressing. It's all glitz with no substance. There's nothing there. They don't have any female candidate for a reason right now in any of the major parties, for that matter. It's not just an APC thing, and it's not by coincidence. It's just all of us on this platform know exactly how our country is and the reasons why we don't have female candidates. So I don't know, with this indirect primaries, to be honest with you, one man, I don't know enough about it to say whether or not there's a benefit of the indirect system over the direct system.
The way it works is that so there are three types of formats they could adopt. A consensus candidate, which I think everybody's clear on that. They agree pre-hand that this is going to be the person. They will still have some voting system, but it's more ceremonial and everybody just lines up behind him. So that's the consensus candidate. But they can also have direct primaries, which is to say that the totality of the party will have a say on who it is. But the indirect primaries is the totality of the party is then condensed into delegates that cuts across all the local government areas. So the delegates then, on behalf of their constituencies or whichever body they whichever group they represent, they will vote on behalf of a bunch of people to elect then the person that they want to carry the party's ticket. So that is the mode that they are adopting, the indirect, which essentially puts that faith in the hands of, and there are 7,800 of them in the APC. So essentially, those delegates will be gathered then to a central point, and then they will just vote. So essentially, favor of Tinubu is really the reading of it.
Yes, but the direct primaries is kind of, it's open, like free for all. It's open.
Yeah, but it's too
people
expensive.
Get to compete.
Yes, that's what Buhari was pushing back against when he didn't sign the electoral bill. That, because you know that process has to still be supervised by INEC. So it's too cumbersome, both in terms of the security, the supervision, and it's too expensive and too cumbersome.
Yeah, I see. So it's one of those things where the direct primaries, because it's so Buhari was against it. So he's I guess he's coherent enough to understand the difference between direct and indirect primaries, but he's not coherent.
I think it was explained to him, but
yeah. But he's not coherent enough to be able to create a strategy to defeat insurgency. No, but I think, I mean, from what you've mentioned, I prefer the direct primaries though. That seems more democratic than having than having delegates, specified delegates that are easily identifiable and easily bribed to then vote for a particular candidate. You know, you can go and visit the delegates, you can schmooze them, you can get them to swing one way or the other. As opposed to if it's a truly democratic party, then everyone has an equal footing in the party. And, you know, everyone gets to vote and we'll see who comes out on top. But like you said, you know, it seems like Buhari's stance actually won over in the party, and they've now gone for this indirect system. I don't see, like you said, it to benefit Tinubu, and with it not being democratic, I'm not in favor of that system. And they've also through. Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from Ajanle Koko on that, and then I'll start to round off. So, Ajanle Koko, did you want to speak on APC now indicating that? So the NWC, they've already come up with their recommendation to be ratified by NEC and the NEC, and that essentially an indirect form of primaries. Do you consider that as somewhat democratic, and who do you think might take that space?
Well, direct primary is more democratic than indirect, because the way I don't know the process that the process that will nominate those delegates that will be going through, that will be going from each state of the federation. If I don't know the process, but the way it was during the Third Republic, during the SDP and NRC, the way they did it then was that people will still vote at the local level at different wards. They might say that, okay, 5 delegates from each ward. You understand what I'm saying? So some people will contest at every ward, like 5 delegates or 10 delegates from each ward of the delegate of the federation within the party. So some people will contest as a delegate, and people will vote for them, and they will go further to go and vote. They will qualify. Once they are elected, they will now go further to vote for local government delegates. And those local government delegates they are going to vote for, those ones will go and vote for those that are going to be the state delegates. And those state delegates are those ones that will represent each state at the primary. So that is the way it used to be. I don't know the way they organize their own party. I don't know the way they are going to do it in their party. So that system I just described now is like, you know, is by delegate from, is an indirect way of voting from local government, and it will graduate up, delegate from one delegate to another delegate, and then to the final one that will represent the state and go and vote for that will qualify to the national convention to go and vote for the the candidate, for the presidential aspirant of their choice. But what their own constitution, how their own constitution specify the way to elect or appoint delegate, I don't know. But to cut it short, people are going to come from each state representing each local government, I guess, to go and vote for candidate of their choice at the national convention for the aspirant of their choice. So we are going to see a situation where most of the delegates are going to be under the control of each governor of their state, because they control the party machinery. So the governor of every state are those that will determine their collective effort, will determine who is going to be the who is going to be the nominee of the party. Because yeah,
I have a question, I beg. So what happens if the state is a PDP state? And then
no, if the state is a PDP state, you know, the most senior senator in that state is the leader of the party in that state, according to APC. The most senior senator in that state that represents that state at the National Assembly is the leader of the party in that state. So a lot of delegates may come through him to the National Convention, you know, for the primary. So right now, APC they control 24 states. They have governors in 24 states of the federation. So those governors are the one that will bring most of the delegates. However, they have some faction. They have faction within the party in each state too. So the other faction could have some delegates that they will bring to the national convention as well, because in some area where the governor does not have influence, where the other faction have influence, those other factions will have their own delegate too. So you are going to see a situation where those groups from each state of the federation, faction from each state of the federation, will bring delegate depending on the way depending on the way the party specify how they are going to come about the delegates. So both factions will now bring their delegate to the national convention and then vote for candidates of their choice. So, but you know, the governors have in most of the states of the federation, I mean, according to APC, the party machinery in each state are in the hand of the governor. So all the candidates now, the governors are their best bets that they can convince. Once the governor is in the support of you as an aspirant, and you know how to play your own game well, and he assure you and he guarantee you that he's bringing his delegate for you, so definitely they will deliver their delegate for you, because the governor will organize them either by flight or by bus. He will take them in group, take them to the convention. They will take them to the hotel, lodge them up, and take them in group to the convention center. And they will thoroughly monitor who they are voting for, because they will be paid. Some of them will come back home rich, depending on how much the whoever they are voting for is giving them. If it's giving them 1 million naira each, or it's giving them 2 or 5 million naira each, they will come back home rich. So, but the governor is the one that will mobilize them to that convention center, and he's the one that will monitor them to make sure that they vote for the candidates that they brought them there to vote for. So it's a money-driven exercise. Billions will be injected into this effort, and whoever that have the strongest machinery within the party across the country, with the support of the money to oil that machine, will definitely emerge as a candidate of the party. It's money driven, and is you must have that control, the machinery of the party around the country. Who are the machinery of the party? The governors around the country. If you have them on your side, majority of them on your side, definitely you will win. Particularly if you win, if you have states like Kano that have about, is it not 1,800 delegates that Kano has, or 1,000 plus, 1,400?
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, because they have more delegates according to the number of local governments that they have. So the more state with more local government will surely come with more delegates to the national convention. So Kano has the highest, and some other states that have larger local government, they will surely bring more delegates to the national convention. So that is the way it is, money driven, and you must have the support of the governors, the what do they call it, kingsmaker in every state, if not the governor, the kingsmaker, or what they call the godfather. The godfather is either the kingmaker, godfather, or the governor of each state. Those are the ones that will deliver delegate for you. And when they deliver it, you are able to get more of them on your own side than others. You will win the primary. So it's just, you can see how fraudulent that process look like. Is fraudulent, money intensive, is all. This is not a free and fair. So they bribe their way from the beginning. Before you get the ticket, you have to bribe. It is not free. There's no level playing field. So you bribe your way to secure the ticket, and then when it comes to general election, you have to go and bribe too. You have to get the police on your side. You have to rig the election. You have to get talks. You have to bribe your way to power. So this is the democracy that will never benefit anybody, but rather themselves that participated in that fraudulent process, that it will benefit, because they injected so much money, they injected so much effort, they injected so much criminality, so much thuggerism, so much killing. They kill to get to power, and they are not doing that in an effort to serve anybody. They can never serve you. They get there to serve themselves. That is the way the system is. So it's a fraudulent system. We have to take these people out and have a level playing field and a base, an issue-based political process, an issue-based, a well-organized, no bribery, nothing. That is the only way out of this system. I mean, this fraudulent system that we found ourselves. We are not practicing democracy, but we are practicing crazy. It's jam crazy. We are practicing engineer jam crazy.
All right, thank you. I want to say, to start to round off here, engineer. So I'll start to take closing remarks. Just
Woman, can I go first?
Yes, you can go first, but yes, but just a condensed one. Let me quickly acknowledge Alexander Gomez's super chat, and I'll come to you. Tinubu is a spent force. Age has caught up with him. So that seems to be what we are all concluding. Sadly for the guy, the time is up. So to you then, eyes on. So we start to sweep up.
Yeah, thanks, one man, for the show again. You're a hardworking man, the hardest working man on these YouTube streets. You know, 2 shows a day, no be yam. Even though you do have a lot of yam heads like myself on your platform. I just want to say that you know, it's a good chat. Listening to Ajele Koko educate us just now on this electoral process that the APC is adopting, you know, just shows how messed up things have gotten. You know, here are 5 Nigerian men exposed, have lived in the Western world, have lived in Nigeria, have traveled, understand the corruption in our system, but our process for electing candidates for one of the major parties is so confusing that we're even fully trying to understand how people get selected. And I think that's why they opted for the indirect primaries, because it's more difficult to understand, and it's like Ajale Koko said, it's more corruptible, you know. So it just shows that we have a serious problem. As I was listening to him break down everything and how the delegates to get bribed and everything, it's very, very disturbing, because you look at it and you say, how in God's name can you get to this position of presidency and not be dirty? Because you'd have made all kinds of deals. You'd have carved up the whole country before you even get in office. You'd have promised all sorts of things to all sorts of people, corrupt individuals. So here we are. So again, Ajale Koko's point is valid. There are parties out there that don't use the system, and we should seriously consider those people for serving us at the national office. Thank you so much, one man. God bless everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Aizon. And apologies, I was puffing away at my thing. I didn't even know I was on the screen, but that's Aizon rounding off with his final comments. From Aizon, we go to engineer. Engineer, your words.
Thank you, one man, and thank you for making the platform for every Nigerian, because this is the only platform that I can say you don't discriminate. You say things the way it goes. You say things the way the information come to you. And this is a platform that that accommodate any individuals, any traditional rulers, and any tribes. You can come in and say things, and let's know and let's discuss way forward. Well, thank you, one man. And for people who are watching the platform, I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you too. It's not that easy. Some will be at work, some will be at home, some will be somewhere else watching this platform. God will bless you all. And for people who do the thumbs up, God will still give you multiple fingers to do more thumbs up. And at this point of time, let's pray and see what is going to happen in 2023. We need a good leader that will come and change things. We don't need much. We only need security, we need roads, and we need light. Those are the 3 requests we need. If Nigerian government will surprise their own citizen and provide these 3 major things, if you like, steal the money from the kingdom come. Nobody will challenge you. Nobody will bother themselves. Because if we put things in place, give Nigerians a chance, then you see what Nigeria will become. And for our Ajale Koko and Ola, I still want to use this opportunity to say thank you guys. You guys are doing well. And without you guys, I think some of the viewers will end up crying or jumping, you know. And regardless how
jumping for what?
regardless how our Ajale Koko now, he has turned to the real Ajale Koko and he used to know. I said, oh, may Almighty God bless you. Because I can see for the past now he's heading to 1 month. Our Ajale Koko voice has completely changed. Yeah, they want to frustrate you for me. Oloma Je.
Oloma Je.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people like Mike back to sender.
Yoruba reverse.
Well, thank you guys. 1 month. God bless you. And hopefully we'll see when they release Nnamdi Kanu. We know the date has passed.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, we forgot that. But there it is. That lawyer has to come and give account. So we address that in the next session. So thank you, engineer. So that was the engineer. So from engineer, we go to Ola.
Yeah, thank you everyone for taking your time to contribute to how to move our country forward. Like I keep saying, this is how people actually participate in building or rebuilding a country. And I think whatever little effort we think we might have offered, we go a very long way to help re-educate the polity, because that is very important. Like I keep saying, I've never lost hope in Nigeria. Although Nigeria may evolve differently, maybe tomorrow we wake up and we just say, okay, we have some kind of confederation whereby Biafra will be Biafra, Odua will be Odua, Arewa will be Arewa. And here we'll be doing something together that nobody will seek to dominate the other one. Nobody will seek to force his own identity upon the other, upon others. So if these people are not talking, at least if these people don't want to come to the right table and talk, at least this platform like this is offering us something for everybody to talk about what they want. Yeah, not that I'm indirectly supporting Ajale Koko Showore. I'm not campaigning for anybody, but I would just say, as much of these politicians you can actually take out of power, the better. I know we cannot take all of them out once, but the more we reduce we reduce them, the better it can be for the country. You know, I personally, I never believed that Nigeria will get to this stage whereby your senators will be richer than your local government, because this thing never happened for once. Because that's why we mention people like Adekunle Ajasin, Jakonde, Ambrose and Lee, and those old politicians that they served sincerely. They were not going there just because they wanted to compete with Abiola or they wanted to be the richest man in North Africa. They were going there to make name, so that by the time they would go, they will leave the office and say, "Oh, that's Jakonde estate," or you will remember Josh as someone that developed Alagbaka quarters for the government this thing in those states. So those are the kind of things those people were looking for, unlike the maybe I should like call them prodigal son or alien in the family, because like Yoruba will say that if a family is still is progressing, everything is everyone is in harmony, it simply means that the alien there is yet to grow up. The day the alien there will grow up, we smell pepper. That's how to describe the type of politician we have in the country today. As bad as politicians were in those olden days, their corruptions, The level of corruption or the level of the corruption at that time is just a child play compared to what we have now. So I think the more we get ourselves involved, the more we try to come out and expose them and talk about the evils, I think the more they become uncomfortable. You see, there's a way that as we're speaking that is getting to their mind. And there is a way that whatever we are doing here today gradually change the orientation of our people, the political orientation of our people. And that is why I see whatever you are contributing. It may look little to you, but I think it's a very great, I think I see those things as great. So to me, I can only thank you, but we can do more by just trying to thumb up, then you share, so that there are many people with knowledge of this thing that can even carry this message better. But just because they don't know that forum like this exists, it is through our effort to share and thumb up.
Sorry, Ola, I must push you. I want to shut down fairly shortly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please let us just share, thumb up and share, so that the algorithm can air the forum. Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you here later. Thank you. Good day wherever you are.
All right. Thank you, Ola. So, Ajanle Koko, if we can really condense it to a very narrow sum up, and then I'll shut it down. Ajanle Koko, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Woman. Let me thank everybody that came on the platform today, and those of you that are listening to us around the world, and those of you guys behind the scene chatting. It's been a very good session from the beginning to this time that we are winding up. I want to urge you right now, if you have not hit the like button, please do that. Hit the like button or thumbs up. And, by doing that, you are going to help this platform, help the YouTube algorithm of this platform. We want this platform to go far than, that will help us in enlightening and educating and informing our people about the next level we have to go, the way we have to change the course of direction of our country. We have to do it. So please do that. Share and subscribe if you have not done that. So other than that, I just want to urge you all that we should not give up. Don't let us see this politician, this two party, as if they are unbeatable. We can beat them. They don't win election. They always rig election. People does not like them because majority of registered voters in Nigeria, 70% of registered voters does not vote for them. It's about 20 or 25% of people registered voter that voted. So it's minority. They just look for talks and they look for people they can bribe, and they bribe themselves way into power. But if we, the people, can stand up against them, they will not win election. God so good, that we have new electoral law that it's going to make a lot of things difficult for them to rig the election. So I will leave it there. Let us continue to educate each other. Let us continue to do what we have to do so that we can get our country back. So other than that, I thank those behind the scene. I thank you all. You are the strength of the platform. Keep doing whatever you are doing, and I really appreciate you all. So, and I thank the driver of the platform. One man, you are the man. Great thanks to you. I believe tomorrow, one man, the eagle, will come back and we will continue the struggle from there. Thank you, one man, the eagle. See you tomorrow.
Oh, all right, thank you, Ajanle Koko. So thank you, Ajanle Koko, and that has been the session. It's been one of the funnier sessions that we've had. It didn't just quite seem to get going, and at the end, I just had to surrender it. But we did have moments interspersed. So thank you to everybody that came on. But we did have quite a solid enough viewership for what it was. So just to acknowledge some of the people, I won't go through the whole of it as I often do, just to mark a few people. So engineer, of course, you heard him on the screen. David Tunde Abe, a regular contributor. Obi Ruben, who we see virtually every day. The truth hurts, but what is the truth? Abdul Momoni joins us via Facebook. Ishmael Bolaji, so there he is there. Oga Namaste, as they say in the hoods. Vin Maxwell here in Ghana. Rufai Tungi or Tungai. One of these days we'll have to get an understanding of what that is. Kana Niger, so they're irregular as well. Thomas, of course, you know. So it's just really all the regular names that you know. So I put this thing on the screen. There's this thing that comes on the screen regularly. I'm sure you know not to click on it. It's essentially a virus. So please don't click on that. When it says best calm and things like that, I try and capture it as quickly as I can. And hopefully the moderators, they remove them as soon as they turn up. But I'm sure you are all savvy enough to know that that's essentially a virus. I'm not quite sure why YouTube has not yet done anything about it. But then these people, they're so adept at adapting. So that's British victim right there. Let's take one more. If you see one more. Canadian network. So there he is right there. So that has been the session. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace.